Hey, Prime members, you can listen to Crime and Sports early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Download the app today.
In the depths of an Atlanta forest, a clash between activists and authorities ends in tragedy. I'm Matthew Scher, and on my new podcast, We Came to the Forest, we expose the hidden truths behind a shootout that left one activist dead and countless lives forever changed. Binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest ad-free on Wondery Plus.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Crime and Sports.
Yay!
Oh, yay indeed, Jimmy. Yay indeed. My name is James Pietragallo. I'm here with my co-host.
I'm Jimmie Whisman.
Thank you, folks, so much for joining us this week. We are enthusiastic, and it's for a good reason, because, man, do we have a wild episode of a very famous asshole who... he's the gift that keeps on giving. He has screwed up within 48 hours. 48 hours previous to us recording this, he's screwed up again. It's amazing.
Great.
I love the guy. He's such an idiot. I love him for the fact that he's an idiot and he's going to give us a lot to laugh at. So we will get to that quickly, though. Don't worry about that. Yeah. Before we do get to that, though, head over to shutupandgivememurder.com. Get your tickets. August the 12th, Chicago. Hey, come strong, Chicago. We're going to do a Chicago-only live show.
Yeah.
A live show that the only place you can see that this year on the tour is going to be Chicago. It'll be our biggest show ever, hopefully. So get in there, Chicago, August the 12th. And then other tickets, pretty much everything else is sold out except for a few. Right. Later on in the year, we got Dallas, we got Charlotte, we got Atlanta, we got Philly, and a couple of tickets left in D.C. Everything else is gone. So shutupandgivememurder.com is where you get that. Patreon.com/crimeandsports. Oh, you want bonus stuff?
Yeah. Oh,
we got bonus stuff. Yeah, over anybody $5 or above, you're going to get like 200 back episodes of bonus stuff to snack on, to munch on, to have a buffet on. It's a smorgasbord of bonus.
And every day we stoke it more.
Stoking the fire, and every other week you're going to get 2 new episodes, 1 crime and sports, 1 small town murder. This week is, of course, no different, and we have 2 wild episodes. First of all, for crime and sports, we're going to just talk about players, and this is kind of goes across the spectrum of all sports, players who like to pay for sex. We're going to talk about some embarrassing busts of prostitution busts, because a lot of the times it's not a guy that we can do a whole episode on. But it's just the situations are hilarious a lot of times. So we're going to talk all about that. Okay. And then for small town murder, we're going to talk again. You're going to get a little dirty. We're going to talk about Casey Anthony. Let's do this. Yeah, we're going to talk all about her and all about her disgusting stuff that she did. So
we have not talked about that?
We have not done Casey Anthony.
Wow.
No, we have not talked about her. We've been saving her for a rainy day. And we'll just say it's boring. God. Let's do it. So
she's so easy to beat on.
Oh man, I read so much about her. I've really gotten deep on this shit too. It's wild. So we'll get into all that. That is patreon.com/crimeandsports. And you'll get a shout out at the end of the show.
Oh, yes.
Jimmie is certainly going to mispronounce your name, so don't you worry about that. That said, damn it. Oh, Your Stupid Opinions, by the way. Our new show coming, Your Stupid Opinions. It's
swear.
Coming. Listen, everybody, the show's done. It's a done deal. It's all sitting there waiting to be put out. There's no feed to put it out on, because if there's business stuff that's completely out of our hands that other people have to handle, and we have no control over it. There's contracts and stuff. There's delays. There's all sorts of stuff going on in the entertainment industry that the ripple effect has made delays for everything, and it's not our fault. We swear to God. So the show is coming. It's coming as soon as we can possibly get it to you, because it's sitting there right now. We're like, we have it done. What the fuck? So,
how's your inbox about it?
Oh my God, I know. I appreciate it too.
It's so
and every
nice.
time I'm like, thank you. I say thank you first of all for caring and wanting this. Number one, and B, I'm just as frustrated as you are. So it's happening. It's happening.
I wish it was being made too. Give us a second.
Yeah, it's being made. It's just it can't be put out yet. So that's a little irritating. That said, let's get into this, Jimmie, because it's a deep one with a very famous person who, like I said, he's the gift that keeps on giving. It's almost like he personally said, "Hey guys, I know you're going to do this on Monday, so I'm going to screw up this weekend for you just to get a little extra Just get a little extra going.
Taste, yeah.
It's Conor McGregor, everybody.
Hey!
There we go. Yeah.
God, is he a dick?
He's such a dick, and he proved it again
Yeah.
very recently. So let's get into Conor McGregor.
Right.
Everybody kind of knows who he is now because you don't have to be a fan.
He's very mainstream.
Yeah, you don't have to
Golly.
be a fan of like MMA or anything to know
Right.
who he is. He's everywhere, and he keeps inserting himself negatively into the world
into
too.
situations where he doesn't belong.
No. Yeah, we'll talk about it at the end, but at an NBA Finals basketball game, if on my bingo card, Conor McGregor being there and sending a mascot to the emergency room was not on there at all. Not even close to that.
Is the dumbest. The dumbest.
I would have, if you said, who's more likely to send a mascot to the ER, Conor McGregor or LeBron James, who isn't even playing in the series, I'd say, well, I mean, at least LeBron's involved in basketball, so maybe
Right,
he shows
same
up,
sport.
somebody talks some shit, he gets angry and close. I don't know. That'd be more likely.
Yeah, so
Than
is that
this.
something about his hairline? I
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah. What's that, motherfucker? And he comes and knocks his mascot head off.
Yeah.
So Conor Anthony McGregor is his name here. He's born July 14th, 1988.
Fuck, he's that much younger than me?
He's that much
my
younger
God.
and has screwed up so much more.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus Christ, man. He's from Dublin. That's where he's born, in Dublin, Ireland. And we watched some show where it's a British reality show where people go on these first dates, right? And the Irish one, they always show kind of the map of Ireland to show where they're from. There's like 3 cities in Ireland. It's like Dublin, and then the other cities are considered like the sticks, and then there's the country, and that's all they have there. There's not a lot there, honestly.
Yeah.
It's cool. It looks pretty.
Yeah, and the Irish bar in Phoenix, the Dubliner, has like wood signs of all the places from Ireland.
Yeah.
And I don't recognize fucking any of them.
No. There's
I don't know
Cork,
if they're counties. Yeah.
Cork,
there's
and
Kilkenny? Is that
Limerick,
one?
and
Limerick.
and a couple other ones. I don't remember.
I think Kilkenny is one.
Maybe, yeah, it probably
I think so.
is. So let's
Outside
get
of
into
that, I don't know.
that's what I mean. I don't know. It's there's not a lot happening there. People seem
Yeah.
to leave there to go other places, but shit, it looks pretty though.
Yeah, it does.
It really looks nice.
It's very green. Yeah.
It's so nice. So father and mother here. Father's name is Tony McGregor. I assume that's where he got the Anthony as the middle name, and his mother is Margaret McGregor.
Yeah.
Old Margaret
boy.
McGregor there.
That's a lot to say.
Yeah. Now, Tony, we'll get into a little bit about his mom and dad, because just to give you his background, because he doesn't have the background you'd expect. What do you think?
Okay.
How do you think Conor McGregor grew up? Like, just looking at him and like, give me an overview.
Oh, he seems like a rich bully that was never broke and
Right?
continued that his whole life.
Totally, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely not where he came from.
He was broke?
He's just blue collar as fuck. Yeah,
Oh.
Dad was blue collar. His dad, well, Tony's dad, we'll talk about quickly. Tony's dad was a petty officer with the British Merchant Navy.
Oh.
And was at sea the entire time
Very
his
humble,
dad
yeah.
grew up there. His dad said that Conor's dad said that his father, so Conor's grandfather, was a kind, generous man. He said he'd go off on trips and we wouldn't see him for 3 months. So when he came back, he was like a stranger. That's nice.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, geez, he's like an NFL player or something. Like he's not going to be around for
Full
6
of
months.
port diseases and shit.
Oh, also teeming with syphilis, teeming with it.
Open weeping sores.
Absolutely disgusting. You can't go near his genitalia at
No.
all once he gets off the sea.
Don't sit on the toilet.
No. Oh, and it gets worse. The father said, grandfather, quote, he was a giver and always came home with loads of gifts for us.
Oh, God.
Unfortunately,
Jesus,
most of them were oozing. They were oozing sores. That's what the gifts were. Here you go, kids.
Loads of gifts. Gross.
Loads of gifts is the worst way to put that after we just described that. Loads of gifts. Here you go, kids.
Holy.
There's weird shit from 4 different ports in there.
Here's a load.
That Malaysian broad looked filthy, so I'm just going to tell you, watch out. This one is actually like really probably pretty tough. You're going to want to put
She
some gloves
was,
on for
I'll
this kid.
say, pungent.
It was.
I still did it.
Even I was, leery, but
I had to hold my nose, but it
drank
was
a
good.
lot. There's a lot of rum involved, and it happens.
Jesus.
So he said that was put a strain on his parents' marriage. This is, Tony's dad's parents, or I'm sorry, Conor's dad's parents. Yeah. So he said when Tony, the dad, was 8, his mother met somebody else while his dad was at sea.
Yeah.
Which is one of the perils of leaving for months at a time is that kind of shit happens.
You come back and your family isn't your family.
Oh, wow, you found somebody else, huh?
So you're somebody else's family. All right.
She left home and they never saw her again.
What?
She just took off with this guy. Didn't send for the kids, didn't get no weekend, nothing. Just mom left and she's gone.
She didn't take the family, she left the family.
She left the family. Now that's good dick right there. Let me tell you something. Fuck all those kids. I'm leaving and never looking back.
That's amazing.
Wow, he's a magic man, as Hart would say.
She's not just mad at him. She's mad at everybody.
I'm leaving. Fuck you kids. My goddamn husband. I can't take any of these people anymore. Not even a break. She didn't leave for a month and was came back with her head straight. Never saw her again. Period.
That
Gone.
doesn't feel good.
That is awful. So Tony said she just left and there was no contact after that. Wow.
Fascinating.
My father got custody of the family by default, it seems like. I mean, him or nobody. Well, I can't find her, so
I've never heard of the courts forcing custody upon somebody.
She's going to track her down to give her kids. Yeah. And he said, so while my sister Pamela stayed in Liverpool, my brothers Stephen, Gary, and I all came to Ireland and were split up between his sisters because he's at sea all the time. So they each... One of the boys went with each sister, and he said they took one of us each, and we were absorbed into their families. So it was just like, wow, you're one of them now.
Unbelievable.
That's crazy. He said when my dad was on leave, he would come over for a visit, and we would all stay together in one house and pick up where we left off. He chose that life of adventure, so he would tell us all the tales of where he'd been. He was a very generous man, and we would never be short when he came home. So I guess he would give them shit, have gifts and shit like that. And that's a lot for Tony, obviously. Yeah. And so he said when my father retired, I went to live in the Navy's retirement village, or he went to live, not I went to live, which was in a lovely setting in the River Mersey. I don't think any seaman likes the land, so he was always looking out at the water.
Okay.
This seaman and his loads were always looking out at the water to give gifts.
We hate the land.
Hates the land. He had a massive heart attack aged 73 and actually died that way, looking out the window at the river, which is the way he would have wanted to go. I went over to him as much as I could, but looking back, I wish we had spent more time together. So that's how...
Fascinating.
Yeah, that's Conor's dad. So Conor's dad also, Tony, he explains that he went and got factory work and got a taxi license. Mm-hmm. His dad left school at 16, Tony did, and got an apprenticeship as a mechanic, but he didn't like it, so that's what he did. And
started driving.
Yeah, he started driving, did some factory work. He first meets Conor's mom, Margaret, when they were walking to school in their early teens.
Oh.
And then they got together at 16.
Okay.
And Tony says, it was her looks that attracted me, as she... As she wasn't a bad-looking bird.
Very honest.
Very honest. Well, she had a great ass, and really, that's what I'm into. I'm an ass guy, so.
What did I see? I saw a hot chick I wanted to fuck, so I did.
Tits aplenty. She was developing younger than the other girls, and I noticed it. He said, Margaret was beautiful, and she still is. We got married at 21, 36 years ago this year, whenever this interview was taking place. She's a very generous woman and a good listener, and she has great qualities.
That's beautiful.
That's very nice. They started living in a 2-bedroom apartment, and they saved until they had enough money they could get a mortgage on their first house. So they did in the suburb of Crumlin, which is outside of Dublin there. Yeah, and they had their first child, who was a girl, and then they had another child, and then Conor is the youngest.
Wow.
And he's 8 years younger than the oldest. Okay. So he's the baby. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And Tony says, quote, his fists were clenched coming out of the womb, so he was ready to fight.
I mean, he's a baby.
He's a baby.
They pretty much all are, right?
But they're all, they're very angry to be pulled from their
ball up.
comfort.
I mean, they ball everything up. They ball up their whole body. That's why it's called the fetal position.
No, well, that's according to the midwife, though, this was, the midwife said, quote, this fella's going to be a boxer. Well, he's not. We know that.
Away,
He's a terrible boxer.
He's a shit-ass
He's
boxer.
not good at that. This midwife, I'm not going to say, bit of a dumb twat. That's all I'm going to say. So, that's it. I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to call it like I see it. And
she doesn't know shit about boxing.
You don't know shit about sports, lady. I tell you to fucking chill the fuck out.
You can't throw a decent punch less than you're dressed in a fucking mascot's outfit.
Watch out. Watch out if you're what the hell is a heat anyway? I don't know how you can have a mascot from literally heat.
Yeah.
How do you have a mascot for that?
I don't know. It has what appears to be a baseball for a nose.
That's what I mean. I don't understand that.
So
What's
dumb.
some team's going to be like the Iowa City Steam next? And we're going to have all right.
Wait for that New England fog.
Yeah, the New England fog coming in. This fella's going to be a boxer. It was an easy birth as Margaret was only in labor for an hour, so Conor was in a hurry to make himself known.
Okay.
Yeah, he said, that's was what you did as a working class person. You didn't go to university or college. You got married and had kids and became a man early on in life. I drove a taxi for 26 years, which I loved, although I worked nights around the clock, so I was like Dracula.
Jesus.
So, yeah, I mean, this is blue collar.
Yeah.
To have a taxi driver dad and, working hard. And so he knows about hard work.
Sure does.
And to get to where he was before he went really crazy, Conor, like he had to be a hard worker to do that. To get to that place. There's no way to do it otherwise. So he learned something, but he didn't learn any kind of humbleness at all from his dad at all. The only thing that Conor McGregor did that I like is the money suit. I thought that was pretty funny.
I don't remember that.
When he the little tiny. That was pretty fun. Or the fuck you suit. I'm sorry, I was thinking of Mayweather. The fuck you suit. I thought that was funny. Honestly, I like that. The tiny thing,
tiny little words of "fuck you," and you can't tell. Yeah, and it was pinstripes, right? Pinstripes, fuck you. Yeah,
it was nice. I like that. That's a good sense of humor. But if the rest of it, no. So. Tony said, I was around during the day to make dinners and collect the kids from school, so I got to spend a lot of time with them. I would bring Conor to his football matches on Sunday mornings, even though I would have been working until daylight on Saturday night.
And that's soccer.
That's soccer, for Americans over here. When Conor was 5, the family moved to a bigger house in Crumlin, a 3-bed semi that had 2 bathrooms, so semi-attached, not a
all right.
It was hardcore attached.
3-bed, 2-bath. That's a nice little house.
A nice little house. We thought we were the bee's knees with our ensuite because they had ensuite bathroom.
Yeah.
So Conor attends Irish language schools. Actually, that's where he goes to school. And which is interesting. He was really into playing football, I guess. That was his thing, playing soccer. He played for the local team. He played for the school. And he went to Harold's Cross, I guess, or in Harold's Cross. He went to an Irish-speaking school. And he said he was only average when it comes to sports. Even Conor himself says that. Tony said, quote, Tony is a, quote, keen spectator of all of them and a participator of none, his dad. His dad liked sports but never played sports. Yeah. Right. He said Conor, though, when he found boxing, the Crumlin Boxing Club at the age of 12, he said that right away he knew it was for him. Right. Tony said he came home that night and asked us why we had put him in soccer for all those years.
I mean, because we're not in the business of fighting toddlers. What the fuck are you talking about?
Let's battle our toddler. Let's put him in there. Let's get toddler supremacy. Yeah, this is. I want Battle Tots as a show. Battle Bots is one thing, but I would really prefer Battle Tots. You dress them up, you put like flamethrower things on them and whirling metal things, and just let these toddlers hack each other to pieces.
Hammer sickle that comes out of its back.
They have no idea what they're doing. They're just crawling around. That's a show.
Couple on wheels.
It's a terrible, sick show, but
it's bad.
Battle Tots. Dun, dun, dun. And they show these kids, clueless looking kids.
Casey Anthony every week has a new kid.
Dun, dun, dun. She's the best trainer out there. Casey Anthony is the best Battle Tot trainer going.
Jesus Christ. Just sacrificing them every week. She's actually the worst. She's just real. She sticks with it.
She's just taking toddlers that she finds at the mall and just fucking targeting shit and just brings them Battle Tots.
Every week, Casey's kid.
This one's mine too. What? Yeah, this one's mine. That one looks like Asian or something. It's mine.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. It's my kid. The father's Asian or something. It's fine. I don't think that's yours.
Jose Baez is the father.
Yeah, I don't think that's yours, Chief. So,
God damn it.
That's amazing. Tony said, quote, like all Irish mammies, which doesn't mean the same thing over there.
No?
Nope, different. Margaret was best impressed and didn't want to see her son get hurt. She still can't bear to look at Conor fight. Well, nowadays, she definitely doesn't want to see it because he gets the shit beaten out of him on a regular basis. So
maybe that's why he fought the mascot, so mom could watch.
Maybe, yeah. Hey, Ma, look at this. You like basketball? Pow, pow. His dad said that Conor was a quiet kid that didn't cause any trouble.
Oh.
Where did this come from?
What?
Yeah. She said that's a very weird thing. No.
Quiet kid.
Wasn't like trash talking his brothers or quiet kid. They said, we didn't see much of the personality he has now when he was growing up, his dad said. That developed with age and is a sports persona that goes with the package. I find it very entertaining.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's, you know what, too? That's fine. There's a lot of guys that you can create an image that gets you attention so you're marketable.
Right.
Because UFC, just like wrestling, is a sport where, and just like boxing, you want to have a good guy and a bad guy.
Right.
Period.
Got to have a guy to root against.
You got to have a guy that you want to see get the shit beaten out of him. Period. Yeah. So that he's like, I'll be that guy. I'll be the heel, which is totally fine. But then there's a point where somehow with him, it's leaked into who he is, it seems like.
His personal life, yeah.
And now it's, I guess, a believing your own hype type of deal or
maybe, yeah.
What you believe in your own press type of thing. But it's become who he is now, it seems like. I mean, maybe not at 2 a.m. if he's sitting there or whatever, but it's all he presents is that.
Yeah.
So it's a different thing now completely with him. It's weird. So this thing, they said boxing was going well. He started, a guy named Phil Sutcliffe was training him. He's a guy who still runs the boxing club. They weren't doing MMA there, and he said he wanted to try kickboxing. So he would do kickboxing and then do some boxing, and he was kind of going in between. His dad said Phil knew that he was losing him as he was developing more skills and interest in MMA combat as opposed to boxing. I think what appealed to him was all the different disciplines you can use, whereas boxing is just one discipline.
Sure.
That makes sense. Tony said that he had some clashes with Conor growing up. Normal stuff. Tony said that happens in all houses where there's an alpha male and then a young buck comes along.
Yeah. And challenges the herd, yeah.
That's a very nature Oedipus. You mix those together nicely. The home has to evolve, and I had to realize that too. We had a few clashes over the years, all right, but not enough to mention, and you learn to back down. Thankfully, we have a great relationship now. So they moved into a big house when he was 13, Conor.
Oh.
A 3-story, 5-bedroom house.
Holy shit, Dad.
Yeah.
It paid off.
Yeah, extra bathrooms, all sorts of shit. Conor, I guess, had to go to a new school, and he made friends with somebody who was interested in MMA, Tom the Tank Egan, who became a UFC fighter later. I don't know who he is, but Tom brought Conor in to his coach at the Straight Blast Gym, Ireland. Yeah. Straight Blast sounds weird.
It does. Yeah.
It sounds like it makes you poop, like you put like 2 teaspoons of that in your water and you'll poop for like 4 hours, right?
No.
Straight Blast.
Feels like the name of a place where you do some gay shit to find out if you're gay.
I was going to say, or it's a like one of those fucking one of those like forced to be straight camps that they take.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, one of those. Straight Blast. Gonna give you a blast of straight.
Force you to bang pussy and see if you like it.
And then make you poop for 4 hours. No one's going to want me up in there when we're done with you. That's part of the program. You're shitting so much. No one's going to want their butthole touched or near. No one's going to want to go near anyone's butthole there. So, you're not so gay now, are you? That's right. All covered in poop.
You know, all right. I recently found out the gay guys have missionary sex, and it blew my fucking mind. I shouldn't have said that when you were drinking. I'm sorry.
What do you think? That extra half inch would make it impossible from one spot to another?
No reason.
It's a half inch. Well, that's the physics of that are all off.
There's no reason that I shouldn't have assumed
No.
it. But I recently heard it, and then I saw it in my head, and I was like, oh, my God, it can happen, and that's crazy.
Jimmie's discoveries along the path of life. As you skip down the trail of life with a basket over your arm and thinking about certain things, you pluck
heterosexual sex goes. Then you pluck a flower.
You pluck a strawberry here, a dandelion there. Some weird facts about gay sex that you didn't know you needed to know. You just you put them all in your little basket for later. That's very nice.
I found a daffodil, and I couldn't stop looking at my basket as I was walking home, going, oh, my God, there it is. I've heard of these.
I just pictured you in Dorothy's skirt from The Wizard of Oz, just skipping along with their little Toto basket.
You nailed it. I should be a Dorothy.
Jimmie's journey down the yellow brick road of life. Dun, 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 dun. There he is. Oh, boy, look at that. There's some gay missionary sex going on back there behind the blackberry bushes.
Blew my mind.
Oh, that's fucking wild. So he ends up taking him to the Straight Blast gym, and Tony says, I watched Conor from the sidelines as he progressed in sport, and I saw that he was his own man. One of his teachers told us that he had the intelligence to be a lawyer, so we were praying he would go and do that. But he didn't. But he didn't like school, and he wanted to get out as quickly as he could. Yeah, that's not
in comparison. He probably is. He's definitely made more money than he would as a lawyer.
Certainly.
He'd have probably a longer career.
And I think the brain damage is setting in now. In my opinion, it seems like
it's the opportunity. That window's mad close.
It has caught up to him at this point because
that window's painted shut.
Out of control. Jesus. His dad said, we decided to let him get into a trade after his leaving cert, and he chose plumbing. Yeah, he's Paul Calhoun over here.
He's a plumber.
Shit pipe enthusiast, but he only stuck at that for a year.
Yeah.
He wasn't into it. If any plumbing goes wrong in the house now, he is no help whatsoever. So,
he can't even do it.
No clue. He was developing his love for MMA, and he was perfecting his discipline all the time in the background, although I wasn't aware of it. He had the vision, and he knew where he was going.
Okay.
So he moved with his family, like I said, in 2006. And that was his plumbing apprenticeship and everything like that. So he's developing his MMA skills, and he alternated between he was on the dole, as they call it over there. He's getting government assistance, and then he would make a couple €100 per fight as an amateur fighter, and it's kind of all he was doing. He was just kind of scraping by, kind of doing what he was doing. One of the early fights Tony talks about was in a guy that he fought against. He said he was a Polish guy, and he was huge, the guy that Conor was fighting. He said he looked like a brick house, and I thought, oh, my God, this is what's facing my son? Then the music started, and Conor came out, and I realized he had the same physique as this other guy. That was when he changed from a boy to a man to me.
He'd never seen his boy without a shirt on.
I mean, maybe, but it just didn't see him in that light, I suppose. Just, wow, okay, that's a big guy, and my kid's the same size as him. All right, never mind. Yeah. He faced the man in the octagon and dispatched him in double quick time, and that was the defining moment. I knew then that he was destined for good things, and after he signed for UFC, it went meteoric, obviously. Yeah. So Tony, he retired in 2014, and he starts hanging out, and he plays chess now. That's what he's into. That's all. Yep. He also had testicular cancer, Tony.
Oh, damn it.
Tony said, I found a lump and it wasn't painful, but I was concerned, so I got myself down to the GP. I knew it was urgent, and he sent me to hospital. When you first hear the word cancer, it gives you fright. I was shaking like a leaf, but I knew I was in good hands. And so there you go. He ended up getting that. I guess he was okay. They had surgery to remove the tumor, and I guess he's all right. So he said he was okay.
Frightening shit.
Yeah. He said, so they went to California right away to go on vacation to celebrate.
Very nice.
Yeah, they said they went to San Francisco to look around. They thought that was nice. So
in the 1980s, a rosé swept the country.
Hey, Mike, I really like this White Zinfandel.
Well, good. Now put it down. We're going to try another one.
White Zin became America's top-selling wine. But most don't know that this sweet drink has a sour history. What began in 1986 with counterfeit bottles
A big fraud, a multi-million-dollar fraud.
sent investigators chasing one of the most powerful families in the business, the Licciardis. But the closer the feds got to them, the more dangerous things became. It's a story of deceit.
At the time, I was paranoid.
Threats.
You touch my kids, I will kill you.
And murder.
With a .22 caliber bullet to the head.
What started with a scheme to mislabel wine spilled into a blood-soaked battle for succession. Welcome to Bloodvines. You can binge listen to Bloodvines exclusively and ad-free on Wondery Plus. Join Wondery Plus in the Wondery app, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify.
Behind the closed doors of government offices and military compounds, there are hidden stories and buried secrets from the darkest corners of history. From covert experiments pushing the boundaries of science to operations so secretive they were barely whispered about. Each week, on Redacted, Declassified Mysteries, we pull back the curtain on these hidden histories. 100% true and verifiable stories that expose the shadowy underbelly of power. Consider Operation Paperclip, where former Nazi scientists were brought to America after World War II, not as prisoners, but as assets to advance U.S. intelligence during the Cold War. These aren't just old conspiracy theories. They're thoroughly investigated accounts that reveal the uncomfortable truths still shaping our world today. The stories are real. The secrets are shocking. Follow Redacted, Declassified Mysteries on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Redacted early and ad-free right now on Wondery Plus.
He's also proud of his daughters. He said that he's got daughters as well. Because Conor has got two sisters. He said that Erin is a freelance hairdresser. I don't know what the fuck that is. That sounds like an unemployed hairdresser, doesn't it?
That sounds like Conor pays her bills.
It's a Mona Lisa Vito, I think, was an unemployed. That's exactly who she was.
Yeah.
She
does her friend's hair.
Freelance hair. Anything that's freelance, unless it's, like freelance war correspondent, journalist or something. No, that works. I'm a freelance plumber. Wherever it comes up. And she has a daughter who is also. So he's Conor's an uncle as well, and they're doing that. Tony said every father worries about girls until they're in stable relationships with a decent partner. That's nice here. Now Conor, February 17th, 2007, at the age of 18, he makes his MMA debut in an amateur fight. Here it's against a guy named Kieran Campbell for the Irish Ring of Truth. That's the promotion.
Yeah.
The Irish Ring of Truth. He wins in a minute 31 a TKO over this guy, David Jones. No, that was the first one. The second one is David Jones he fights here. Oh, no, Kieran Campbell. The referee is David Jones. The hell am I talking about? Okay. 131. He turns professional right away. And
Did he really?
Yeah, signs with the Irish Cage of Truth promotion. Well, he beat the shit out of this guy pretty quick, so why not? The promotion that night was Ring of Truth 6.
Okay.
The Ring of Truth. Yeah. So he's at the Straight Blast Gym. He's doing all that. March 8th, 2008, his first MMA fight. He fights Gary the Dump Truck Morris.
He really started fighting in 2008.
2008. Seems like he's been around for 30 years, doesn't it?
It does.
Seems like he's been around as long as Tyson.
Old, and it still feels like he's been around forever.
That's how exhausting he is.
Yeah.
He's... You know what I'm saying? That's how exhausting he is.
And now actively root against him. Only been 15 years.
Only been 15 years. That's scary. And we haven't even known about him for 15.
No.
Maybe 10.
Right.
That's why. Talk about wearing out your welcome quickly. Jesus Christ. Fuck, man.
Obnoxious Irishman.
Tyson had to go to prison for rape to get that rap on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, before people start actively rooting against him. This guy's just an asshole. So Gary the Dump Truck Morris, great name there. He's 8-10 career going in here. He's 0-0 coming in, 8-10 for a career. So mediocre fighter, but it's everybody's debut. And this is a TKO with punches in the second round. Conor wins. He's 1-0. Next up, he fights Mo Taylor, this is also his pro debut, and he will finish his career at a robust 0-1. So this is his only fight.
Conor ended him.
Retired him in a minute 59 with punches. So that his career lasted less than 2 minutes. When someone say, "Did you fight?" He can go, "I fought for a minute," and that's the truth. That's the truth.
I'm not exaggerating. I'm not even using
Giving myself the exact right amount of credit. Fought for a minute. Makes you sound like you're humble and shit, too.
Yeah.
Like, I fought for a minute. Oh, he's probably got 30 pro fights. I bet he was good. No, he fought for a minute.
He's not playing at all.
He's very honest. So he's 2-0 now, Conor. Yeah. That's May 3rd, 2008. Then June 28th, 2008, he fights Artemij Sitnikov. Sitnikov? I don't know. He's 5-4 coming in, 15-17 career. So a middling 500 fighter, but experienced.
Sure.
That's the thing. He's got a lot of experience, much more than Conor. And Conor loses this fight.
Is that right?
In 1 minute 9 seconds.
Oh.
With a knee bar submission, apparently. So
I don't know what one that is, but
I assume it's straightening out your legs, so you're going to feel.
Yeah.
It feels like you're going to snap it in half. Yeah, I guess. So there you go. That was not good. This was his featherweight debut, so I think he stepped up in weight too. So stepping up in weight and fighting a more experienced fighter.
That's balls.
That's balls. Yeah, he's got balls. So he's 2-1 now. Yeah, which one do you think of it? That's the thing. I think Conor has both, though.
Yeah.
I think he's got balls and arrogance. I think that's the thing.
He's aware of what he is, but also not so aware of what he is.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. He's very aware of how people see him, and that's more important, I feel like. It's the perception. So December 12th, 2008, he fights Stephen Bailey, who's 0-1 coming into this fight, and this will be his last fight. So an 0-2 career. This is the name of this card is The Fight Before Christmas 1. The Fight Before Christmas. So it's December 12th. Very good name. I say they're good at naming this. Conor wins with by punches with a TKO at 1 minute and 22 seconds in the first round. So very quickly.
Yeah.
And he's 3-1 now. Next up, October 9th, 2010. So nearly 2 years go by before he fights again. 2010. Now he's with CFC Chaos Fighting Championships now. So
in 2010, he's not even in the UFC yet.
No, not even. I mean, we've known about him for maybe 9-10 years.
Unbelievable.
Tops. It's crazy. And from the time of knowing about him to him fighting like Floyd Mayweather was like 3 years. It's crazy. There's like no time at all. So this day he's fighting Conor Done Deal Dillon. He's 2-1 coming in, and then he's a 5-8 career before he calls it a done deal. And this is
Conors. There can only be one.
There can only be one Conor. This is a TKO in the first round. It's a corner stoppage. So this guy's corner said he's had enough.
Is that right?
We know what he looks like when he's had enough, and he's had enough. So he 4-22 into the first round, 4-1 for Conor now. So he's getting back on the path. Next up, he fights Joseph Irish Joe Duffy.
Wow.
Old Irish Joe. Irish Joe 6-0 coming in.
Oh.
And will be 16-5 in his career. And this is CWFC, which is Cage Warriors Fighting Championships. 39. Cage Warriors 39, The Uprising.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is, he fights here. He loses this fight, Conor does.
Is that right?
With by submission, an arm triangle choke. And it is 38 seconds into the first round. So
shit.
The two fights he's lost, he got submitted very quickly. So I don't know what that means, but there's got to be something to that.
What it tells me already is that Dana White might be a genius at picking people, because I would never take a chance on a guy that's lost. Well, you know what I mean? This rapidly twice.
Then here comes his rise now. I think he saw his weakness, he must have, and figured out how to block it, because February 12th, 2011, a couple months later, he fights Hugh Brady. And Hugh Brady, this is for CFC, Chaos Fighting Championships 8 is the card. Beats him with a TKO with punches in the first round, 231. So 5-2 for Conor. March 12th, 2011, exactly a month later, he fights Mike Wood. And this is... he's 1-1 coming in, 1-5 career for Mike Wood. So you know what happens. KO with punches in 16 seconds.
16 seconds.
It takes him a few seconds to like get in there and kind of move around a little bit. So this is like first contact pretty much. He just knocks this guy out.
That's Conor's real fucking game, though, is as soon as they say, let's get it on, he runs into the ring.
Yeah, he's trying to get it over with quick.
Yeah.
You can tell, because look how many of his fights are in the first round, either with either he loses by a submission or he's knocking you out. He's not trying to go the distance here.
Right. I've seen way too many of his fights, way too many that I'd care to admit, but that's exactly what he does. It's a fucking onslaught.
Well, that's why he's popular, too. That's why he was popular, because people like action. And when a guy, I'm sorry, if I see two guys coming in and then one guy's trying to grapple the other guy, I'm not watching that. If I see some guy trying to take some guy's head off, I'm like, hold on a second, let me see if he kills him, and then I'll flip away.
It's literally called ultimate fighting. This better be fucking ultimate.
This better be ultimate. Yeah, I don't want to see two guys grapple. I can see that. You know,
I can see that at a high school gymnasium.
As I say, I can go to a college and watch a wrestling match where they're much better at grappling than you are. That's the other thing, too. If I want to watch grappling, those guys actually, I mean, not that they're bad grapplers, the MMA guys, but that's not their 100% specialty. If you're a college wrestling champion, you're probably a better wrestler than an MMA guy, because he has to punch
wrestling,
too.
They're pointing. They're not trying to fucking murder a guy.
Exactly.
It's an art.
They're not trying to snap their knee in half.
Right. They're trying to do something here.
Not part of it. So, he beats Mike Wood in 16 seconds. He's 6-2 now. Next up, he fights Paddy Doherty. Jesus, could you be any more Irish than that?
Yeah.
You'd have to come to the ring in a leprechaun hat, carrying a pot of gold with you, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
Fuck, 4-6 for Paddy, and he'll finish his career 4-9, so not going well here. This is at IFC, Immortal Fighting Championship 4, and this fight, I've never seen anything like this before. It's a win by KO for Conor, knockout, in 4 seconds.
That's one punch.
It's just you ran in and punched him and he fell down. That was the end of the fight. Was he drunk? Was Paddy shit-faced? Was he hitting the Jamesons? Like, what the fuck is going on here?
A belly full of fucking shepherd's pie and Guinness.
A pro fighter could be in a bar fight that lasts longer than that. This guy's a professional fighter, for Christ's sake.
Belly full of corned beef cabbage.
Yeah.
Can't take a punch.
I am full. Let me tell you something. Full and shit-faced as well. I'm a little unstable on my feet now. And then he gets hit and falls down. Like, is that what happened?
I hit the JMO a smidge early. I apologize. Wow. I hope you didn't bet on me.
Shit. Sorry, everybody.
But he also liked to run in with flying knees, too, so we may have caught him with a knee.
This is a punch, it says.
It was a punch.
It was a punch. He just came in and clocked his ass. So 4 seconds, I guess. So 7-2 for Conor. See why people are starting to notice him now? You see stuff like that. People go, oh, my audience might like to watch that. Mm-hmm. Next up, he fights Artur Kornik-Sawinski. Okay. He's 11-4 coming in, 24-14 for his career. Okay. It's a real fighter, and this is at CG2, Clash of the Giants. Yeah. And this fight actually goes into the second round.
Hey!
Yeah, Conor ends up winning by TKO, though, with punches again at 112 in the second round. He's now 8-2.
Okay.
8-2. Next up, September 8th, 2011, Aaron the Iron Fist Janssen. Janssen. I think that's Janssen.
That sounds like Janssen.
Hilarious, I think, for some reason, because that's like Nordic Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what they call their dicks over there? Guy had his Janssen out. His Janssen swinging all back and forth, man. He's so he's 2-1 coming in, 6-6 for his career, and this fight is at CWFC Fight Night 2, and this doesn't last very long. 3 minutes and 29 seconds into the first round, Conor wins with punches by TKO. So again, 9-2. See what I'm saying? He's starting to. Now he's not looking so bad, and it doesn't look like so much of a discovery here. February 18th, 2012, so a few months later, he fights Steve the Spartan O'Keefe.
Yeah.
6-1 coming in. Here we go. Mm-hmm. And this is CWFC 45, Cage Warriors Fighting Championship 45. And he wins in 1:33 seconds with elbows, a KO with elbows.
Yep.
Which is crazy.
That Conor,
just elbow people. That's wild. He's 10-2.
That doesn't feel legal.
No, legal like in the sense of the law.
Right.
Like someone should handcuff you after you do that, I feel like.
That's assault, my friend.
There's no sweet science to that.
Mm-mm.
Pinning a man down and elbowing him in the face until someone pulls you off of him is not the sweet science. Yeah, that's not at all. Not even
you
a
hit
little.
on my girl and I don't like it.
Yeah, that's totally different. There's alcohol involved in that fight. There's a curb stomping coming.
Yeah.
So June 2nd, 2012, Dave Hill fights. Dave Hill is 10-2 coming in, so they're both 10-2 coming in.
Yep.
10-2 on 10-2, and he's
fight.
12-4 for his career, Dave. So this could go either way. This is Cage Warrior Fighting Championship 47, and he ends up, Conor beats him in the second round at 4-10. So this is his longest fight ever.
Yeah.
Goes almost 2 full rounds, and this is a submission, his first submission win, as a matter of fact, too.
He's really only fought like 36 minutes so far.
He's barely had any fighting. And
Unreal.
He hasn't really been hit very much. Even his
Right.
submissions, his losses were submissions. He hasn't been knocked out. So this is a submission rear naked choke there. Also, his lack of success against like a Floyd Mayweather, even in that exhibition setting or whatever, makes sense also because if your style is I'm going to run in and punch someone and knock them out quick, you're not going to do that to Floyd Mayweather. You're never going to hit him like that.
No,
you got to wear him down and set him up with a lot of stuff before you're going to hit him with a heavy blow because no one's ever done it yet.
Nope.
Literally ever. So it's not really a great strategy against him, I don't think.
No, and even Gotti fought him this weekend.
Yeah, Jesus, that's so sad.
It was an exhibition. Also,
dude, it's over now. Stop.
Stop cashing in, you son of a bitch. Just enjoy your money.
Floyd just kept him away, jabbed the fuck. He's still too quick to get near. You just can't get near him.
And he jabbered the whole time too.
Of course he did.
To Gotti, and Gotti was pissed.
Oh yeah, I saw he was talking all sorts of shit.
Then they waved off the fight. Then there was a giant melee after the fight.
Big brawl. That's what they wanted.
Frustrating.
Yeah, because now they do that, and now maybe there'll be another one because there was a big brawl. So
of course, yeah.
December 31st, New Year's Eve, 2012. He fights Ivan Buki Buchinger. Yeah, 21-3 coming in for the Bookster here.
We're going into 2013, and he's still not even an American presence yet.
No, he's not even in UFC yet. He's in
believable.
CWFC over here. And this is 3 minutes and 40 seconds. Wow, he's 21-3, 39-8 career, this guy.
Wow.
That's a real fighter. And Conor knocks him out with a punch in 3 minutes and 40 seconds of the first round.
That's good.
So he's 12-2.
Yeah.
Not bad. April 6th, 2013, he's finally on UFC here. Finally.
Right?
So it's been 10 years since you could have possibly heard of him.
Wow.
10 years only. Think about that.
Oh, my God.
And he is, everyone knows who he is and has already been sick of him, saturated by him and everything else. 10 years.
This is 2013. He doesn't even have a baboon tattoo on his chest yet.
Nope.
This is unbelievable.
It seems like 2013, you think about it, you go, oh, that just happened. And then you go, wow, no, it hasn't. Look at the last 10 years in terms of Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
And you go, wow, it's been a long 10 years.
Mind-blowing.
Wow.
That's about as mind-blowing as finding out that gay men have missionary sex.
Another thing Jimmie learned.
I had no idea.
April 6, 2013, he fights Marcus the Bama Beast Brimage. He's from Alabama, so that's why he's the Bama Beast. 6-1 coming in, 7-8 for his career. Okay. And this is UFC on Fuel TV 9. Is the card.
Fuel TV,
Fuel TV. Is that a thing anymore? There's still Fuel TV? Yeah, there is.
That may be defunct.
I don't know. I don't have cable, so I have no idea.
There's drag racing and shit like that on it, I imagine.
I'm sure there is, like dirt bike jumping and shit like that. Yeah. So he beats the Bama Beast in 1 minute and 7 seconds with punches, TKO.
Yeah.
So there we go. August 17th, 2013, he is at UFC Fight Night 26.
Okay.
This is Shogun versus Sonnen is the card, and he fights Max Blessed Holloway, or Blessed, or I don't know what the fuck he is. Either one.
Blessed.
Either one. I hope he gets beat up. He's 7-2 coming in, and 24-7 for his career. So I guess a good fighter here, and he might be still fighting. I don't know. Yeah, but this goes all 3 rounds. Goes the distance. Conor's first distance here. When you're fighting good fighters, that's what will happen. Yeah. So goes the distance, and Conor wins by unanimous decision.
That's good.
So he's 14-2 now. So yeah, it's coming together for him here. July 19th, 2014, Diego Ciara Brandao. He's 18-9 coming in, and 27-20 for his career. This is UFC Fight Night 46, and they are the main event.
Oh.
So now he's a main eventer. So he hasn't been a main eventer for 10 years even. 9 years of being a main eventer.
Unreal.
Isn't that wild? That's crazy, man. So this fight goes 4 minutes and 5 seconds, and Conor wins here by TKO with punches. Okay. I guess this was in Ireland, in Dublin.
Yeah.
Raucous crowd.
Yeah.
Obviously pro Conor McGregor.
Flag. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a big deal.
Pro Conor crowd and everything else, and he won the Performance of the Night award for UFC as well. Yeah. 15-2 for Conor now. It's sitting on top of the fucking world almost. Yeah. Almost. He's climbing. I'm not ready to say it yet.
Okay.
September 27th, 2014, he fights, and this is a terrible nickname that you should not give yourself, Dustin the Diamond Poirier.
Yeah.
Dustin the Diamond? No, you can't be. No.
There's already one, and his dick's bigger than yours, I assure you.
And his life is very sad still. Even with a giant dick, he's still got a very sad life. So that says something about his life.
And now he's dead, which is even sadder.
But I meant at the time here, to be 2014. It was not going well for Dustin Diamond at that point.
I think he may have been in porn at that time.
There was like mug shots coming out of him with weird facial hair where you're like, that's not Screech. What's happening?
It was really depressing.
So Dustin Diamond here is 26-6 coming into this fight, which is not bad. 29-7 for his career. This fight only lasts a minute and 47 seconds, or a minute 46 seconds. This is UFC 178, and Conor wins with punches by TKO.
There you go.
So knocks out Dustin Diamond here, and they said that McGregor landed 9 significant strikes only to the Dustin Diamond's 10, but apparently it didn't matter because he knocked him out with a left hook, and the referee had to step in. Didn't knock him out, but he hit him with a left hook, and he kind of went down, and he gets Performance of the Night again.
Okay.
So good for him. He's 16-2 now for Conor.
Unreal.
January 18th, 2015, Dennis Siver, S-I-V-E-R, 22-9 coming in, 23-11 for his career. UFC Fight Night 59. This is the main event this night, too.
Wow.
Not too shabby. So main event, this goes into the second round, actually gets there. And a minute and 54 seconds in, though, the ref has to step in. TKO with punches. Conor wins. So he earns his 3rd straight Performance of the Night award as well.
Unreal.
Yeah. And this is why he's a star.
Yep.
This is why we still have to listen to him, because he did this 9 years ago.
And his rise was so fast.
So fast. In the last 2 years, it's been went from nobody to the main performer here of UFC, just kicking ass, 17-2. Not the main, but one of the stars.
The guy that's really doing the lion's share, really, of load work in terms of promotion and being a star in the field.
And he's winning Performance of the Night. I mean, if I'm a promoter, I guess that's the guy I'm promoting. You know?
Yeah.
He's the most exciting guy you got right now.
He's earning it, that's for sure.
So June 11th, 2015, he fights Chad Money Mendez. And he's 17-2 coming in, this guy. Same as Conor. They're both 17-2. 18-5 for career for Mendez. This is UFC 189, Mendez versus McGregor. Yeah. And this fight lasts almost 2 full rounds. It's 4 minutes and 57 seconds into the second round. Conor knocks him TKO with punches. The ref has to step in. And Conor is now 18-2. So good for Conor. He's doing wonderfully. After that, they announce, by the way, or before this fight, actually, they announced the next fight that Conor's going to be in. So they were like, if he wins this fight, which they thought he was going to, he then is going to fight somebody else here. He's going to fight Aldo, Jose Aldo, who's a guy who's 25-1 at the time.
Yeah, he's a good fighter.
Good fighter. So this fight is announced here. They announced it like UFC makes a big deal about it. It's going to take place at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Vegas. It's going to be a big deal. They said they thought it could be like one of their biggest events ever, so they increased the promotional budget for the event.
Oh.
And Dana White said it was the most money UFC ever spent in their history on a fight, promoting it so far, up to this point.
Kind of makes you feel like a piece of shit if you're the other guy that he's still got to fight to get to that fight.
What about? Oh, I'd have some motivation though.
Oh yeah.
I'd be like,
either that or pressure.
Well, at the same time, I would also say that it doesn't look good for
the UFC.
For the up and upness of the UFC. Like, this is what they do in wrestling. They announce WrestleMania, this is the WrestleMania match. It's going to be the champ against this person in 4 months, but they have a shitload of matches between then and there. But they're not going to lose because they have that big match coming up. Exactly. That's how it always was. It kind of says that. Oh, yeah, don't worry about that match. What if this guy wins? What if Money Mendez won? Then what happens? All of that, you wasted all that money? Come on, Dana. You think we're buying that shit?
You think people don't want to see Money Mendez about him fight Jose rather than fucking Conor that he just kicked his ass?
They announced the fight on January 30th, and he fought Money Mendez on June 11th, 2015. So
6 months later.
And then the next fight was supposed to be in July. So this is like a tune-up fight. So they go on a 12-day world tour to promote it. They went to 5 different countries, including Aldo's home country of Brazil, and also they went to Dublin. It began in Rio de Janeiro March 20th, and it ended in Dublin on March 31st. But June 23rd, it's reported that Aldo suffers a rib fracture and says he's going to pull out of the bout here.
Oh.
And, McGregor said he was going on the card. Oh, that's what it was. That was the original Mendez fight. I'm sorry. He was supposed to fight Aldo I apologize to all of that. It's
entertaining.
He was supposed to fight Aldo when he fought Mendez, and that fight had to be delayed, so he fought Mendez instead. Okay, that's
still
how that
looks
works.
like shit.
Yeah, I don't know why I mixed that up in my head. So it's still, well, not really. The guy pulled out. He fights a replacement fighter. Beats the shit out of him. They keep promoting it.
And we've still got another fight coming up, and
it might actually help it because it gives you another 6 months of hype you can put into this fight,
Good point.
So I think that's another, So the attendance for this is 16,019, which broke the record in Nevada, the MMA record in Nevada.
That at the time is the most?
That's the most. $7,200,000 breaks the record for mixed martial arts event in the United States as a gate for ticket sales.
Wow.
$7 million. Prior to the fight here, he had Sinead O'Connor sing his entrance song live.
Good
what
pick.
The fuck? It wasn't like Nothing Compares to You. That would be funny. If he came out to that, just like barely any music in the background. Nothing compares. He's just all slow and shit. Tear coming down her eye.
Should have had him sing. Should have had Sinead sing some Hulk Hogan music. Standing on a mountain.
That would have been even better. She sung,
I am an American.
I am a real American. Yeah. That would have been very odd. Having Sinead O'Connor sing that about another Irish person. He's a real American. It would have been funny. She sang The Foggy Dew. Okay. I don't know what that is. It's one of her songs.
I guess that's Irish.
Sure. That's probably if you're Irish, maybe you know it more. Yeah. So I guess if you're Irish, you know all about Foggy Dew. So
you do, yeah.
You're into that deal. So here it is, December 12th, 2015, Jose Jr. Aldo, 25-1 coming in, UFC 194, Aldo versus McGregor. This is, the hype coming in here. Everybody's jacked. Yeah. Hugest deal. The fight lasts 13 seconds.
I got to be honest,
months.
Man. I love it.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't bother me.
That's my favorite.
But 11 months.
Damn it.
11 months of hype for 13 seconds. That's
a little over a second a month.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. So
that's awesome.
He's 19-2.
Yeah.
He won all the hype. He beats him in 13 seconds. You can't get any hot. Grace.
Foggy Dew. That's how I hear it.
Foggy Dew.
Love me do.
You know I love you. Foggy Dew. Irish songs are just knockoff Beatles songs.
Yeah.
All Irish pop songs are just knockoff.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
I love it so much. That's great.
Yellow Submarine's just about a sandwich.
It's just about a shepherd's pie. It's more English, I think,
Yeah,
the shepherd's
probably,
pie,
yeah.
but still, they're Scottish, actually.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you fuckers eat goddamn lamb and potatoes over there.
Oh, boy. Dude,
come on.
Every Irish bar serves shepherd's pie, so it's got to be Irish, right?
Yeah. It's
the soda
definitely.
bread is amazing.
It's fucking lamb and potatoes. I mean, who can go wrong there? It's good shit.
Carrots and peas, it's easy.
Oh, put it in me. Let's go.
But it takes forever to make it. Have you made one?
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Yeah, it's a long time. It's a lot of
3
prep
hours.
for that shit. Yeah, a lot of prep and a lot of stuff. March 5th, 2016. Here we go. He fights Nate Diaz this day.
Okay.
Diaz 18-10, coming in 21-13 for his career, and he was the Ultimate Fighter Season 5 winner.
Right.
And the former UFC lightweight championship challenger, they call him here.
Yeah.
And this is in a welterweight. Now they're fighting at that weight level here. And they call a press conference to promote the event. And, of course, Diaz and McGregor have the, the insult trading.
Yeah.
Wannabe.
Who the fuck are you? That
yeah, blah, blah, blah. There's, of course, a pre-fight press conference with a brief scuffle like they always have. A bunch of guys standing in between them.
Nate, as much as I would never want to fight and tussle with that guy because he's a bad man, for UFC standards, guy's a pussy. He's gotten his ass kicked a lot.
Oh, he's 18-10 coming into this.
Right.
I mean, he gets beat all the time. He's not fucking scared of being beat, which makes him a dangerous fighter.
Right.
Because he's not holding anything back. You might catch him, but he's looking to catch you just as easy, I guess. So this fight goes into the second round, 4 minutes and 12 seconds. Conor gets caught in a rear naked choke, and it's a submission loss.
There you
Nate
go.
Diaz beats him. Yeah, he beats him, I guess, here.
Nate's got bragging rights forever.
A few miles from the glass spires of Midtown Atlanta lies the South River Forest. In 2021 and 2022, the woods became a home to activists from all over the country who gathered to stop the nearby construction of a massive new police training facility, nicknamed Cop City.
At approximately 9 o'clock this morning, as law enforcement was moving through various sectors of the property, an individual, without warning, shot a Georgia State Patrol trooper.
This is We Came to the Forest, a story about resistance.
The abolitionist mission isn't done until every prison is empty and shut down.
Love and fellowship.
It was probably the happiest I've ever been in my life.
And the lengths we'll go to protect the things we hold closest to our hearts. Follow We Came to the Forest on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can binge all episodes of We Came to the Forest early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus.
He was hip-hop's biggest mogul, the man who redefined fame, fortune, and the music industry.
The first male rapper to be honored on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, Sean Diddy Combs.
Diddy built an empire and lived a life most people only dream about.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But just as quickly as his empire rose, it came crashing down.
Today I'm announcing the unsealing of a 3-count indictment, charging Sean Combs with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, interstate transportation for prostitution.
I was up. I hit rock bottom, but I made no excuses. I'm disgusted. I'm so sorry.
Until you're wearing an orange jumpsuit, it's not real. Now it's real.
From his meteoric rise to his shocking fall from grace, from law and crime, this is the rise and fall of Diddy. Listen to the rise and fall of Diddy exclusively with Wondery Plus.
Yep, I guess they were fighting, kind of going up top in the first round. They were fighting back and forth with hands and working all that sort of thing. But McGregor attempted a double leg takedown, and Diaz stopped him. And then Diaz was trying to do a guillotine choke, and it was a mess. So they were good fight, I guess. Good fight. And then finally he had to tap, though, here. So they were awarded Fight of the Night bonuses, both of them. Sure. And McGregor received the highest disclosed purse of any fighter in the history of the company at that point, $1 million.
Highest disclosed. $1 million?
Only $1 million. You sold 16 fucking thousand tickets, number one. And how many pay-per-views? And they gave you $1 million. You know what I'm going to tell you, which is fucking ridiculous and funny?
Yeah.
This is 2016. In 1986, for WrestleMania 2, Hulk Hogan got $1 million, and that was before. That was mainly on closed circuit TV. They were, like to big theaters and shit. There was no pay-per-view at that point, really. Very limited pay-per-view. And Vince McMahon, who is a thief in the fucking night, gave Hulk Hogan $1 million for that. 30 years later, there's someone getting the same amount.
Regis Philbin had given away $1 million more times than fucking Dana White had at this point. That's crazy.
The fact that Conor McGregor only got $1 million for that fight is disgusting.
That's sick.
Fucking disgusting.
Sick.
I mean, that's robbery.
It's reprehensible, honestly.
I can't imagine what UFC made on pay-per-view for that. I can't even begin to fucking imagine what they made on that. Even
20?
just the gate.
$20 million at least,
yeah.
right?
Had to. 20 million. I don't know how many buys it had, but I mean, what are those fights? $89 back then?
Yeah. And at that time, probably $100. Probably $99.
Yeah,
probably
$100 to sell a few million of those. Jesus Christ, you know how much money? I'm disgusted with this.
That's sick.
Wow. I never thought I'd be so disgusted in favor of Conor McGregor, but wow. Jesus, Dana White, this guy's depths we'll never get to the bottom of it.
Never, no.
He's going to be burning his feet on magma from the Earth's core before we get to a fucking bottom on this guy. It's
shocking
unreal.
that man would hit a woman in public, huh?
Oh, my God.
What a scumbag.
Absolute
scumbag.
Of fucking shit. Wow. I am so
Unbelievable.
disgusted with him. Jesus, that is hideous. Fucking
Truly.
God, no wonder why Conor. You know what? I'm taking everything I thought about Conor McGregor back now. I am. Because
great guy.
How the fuck? No. I understand the fact that he's got to go out there and act like a maniac, and he's got to keep his name in, because even when he's the most popular, highest guy, high as you can go, this was grace before this. You still only get a fucking $1 million, which I know $1 million is a lot of money, and we all go, oh fuck, if we had $1 million, we'd be there. But half of that's gone in taxes.
Yeah,
and then he's fucking
got to pay people.
And then still, the guy is if he's drawing millions of pay-per-view buys and can get 16,000 people to come watch him fight for all that kind of money, he's worth more than $1 million fucking dollars, period.
He's not buying, nobody's buying this going, I support Dana White. They're watching this to see what Conor will do next.
That's crazy. And I'm sorry, but fuck Dana White and fuck UFC. That's disgusting.
In his whatever disease he has
So Conor McGregor, he had to do all the other shit he did. When he fucking did the Mayweather fight, it's probably the first time he made a fair fucking payday in his life.
You're probably right.
So you know what? I don't blame him. I'd go out there and go, who cares? Let him beat the shit out of me for 10 rounds. I'm getting paid finally, because this sucks, man.
I mean, obviously it's hyperbole, but that's like slave wages in comparison to what the guy's making.
What he should be getting.
Sake.
It's ridiculous. That's fucking ridiculous. That's terrible. So it's like Scottie Pippen in the 90s with the Bulls. That's like that level of like disgusting of like, are you kidding me?
I think I'll take 6 rings.
Yeah, well, not if I'm making $300,000 a year while somebody, or $1.2 million while someone else is making $30 million, and I'm the second best player. That's
6
the difference between us.
Doesn't equate to $30 million.
Yeah, shove your rings up your ass. When I'm 75 and limping around, I want money in my pocket. Rather than these rings on my arthritic fingers.
Can't get them off because my knuckles are retaining water.
Just so full of water. So Conor was critical of himself here and praised Nate Diaz. He said, I was inefficient with my energy. It was a battle of energy, and he got the better of that. So humble, and he gives the guy the credit he deserves in the win. So he's 19-3 now, which is still a fine record. Better than Nate Diaz. I mean, not bad. So that is, what date was that? That was March 5th, 2016. So April 19th. Right? April 19th, 2016, he's retiring. He's done.
Oh, yeah, I remember these.
Done.
The threats, yeah.
He's retired like 6 times already. It's awesome. He spoke. He said he's decided to retire young.
Okay. And broke.
And bro's going to say, you definitely don't have enough money to retire on. Absolutely not. He was, they said it wasn't clear. Well, whether he was saying that he was going to do it immediately, or whether he's going to retire like in 5 fights from now, and that's still young, or what are you doing? And he wouldn't
Maybe he has
say.
To be reminded that he knows nothing about plumbing to go right the fuck back.
Yeah, Conor, what do you know about plumbing? You know what? I've got a couple more fights in me.
Great point. I'm going to fight.
Change my mind. He said, I have decided to retire young. Thanks for the cheese. Catch yous later.
Oh, okay.
That's what he tweets. That's his announcement.
Yeah.
Done. So thanks for the cheese that I should have more of.
Mm-hmm.
So he's obviously the biggest draw and everything like that. His coach said that, well, it was fun while it lasted. That's Kavanaugh. That's the guy from the straight blast up your ass gym there.
Yeah.
So they said this announcement comes a week after a guy died from injuries suffered in a total extreme fighting card while Conor McGregor was watching.
Oh.
So he watched a guy get killed in the ring a week before.
Scared him. Mm-hmm.
Then he's like, you know what? I feel good. Got all my faculties, couple bucks in the bank. Maybe I'm done here.
Nate didn't kill me.
Yeah, if Nate didn't kill me, he said to see a young man doing what he loves, competing for a chance at a better life, and then to have it taken away is truly heartbreaking. He said that after the fight. So that's interesting there. So then he says he's going to retire. He's done. Can't do it. He's out. The UFC wouldn't comment on it because they don't know what he's talking about.
Because they still need to convince him that it's not going to happen in their fights.
Yeah. Next day, he's not retired anymore. He says, you know what? I'm coming out of retirement. Literally.
I talked to Dana. Dana said it's okay.
The next day, he's coming back. He's good. So this is from a June 2018 article with his dad here. And they ask him about the media controversies. There's not a day goes by that there's not something Conor McGregor's doing, which, like I said, now I get it. He has to make money. They said, so, quote, this is his dad, "We've learned not to take anything personally. It's all part of the showbiz and the Conor McGregor business. And to be honest, I don't think there's such a thing as bad publicity. At home, Conor is as grounded as anybody, and he sits on the sofa with his feet up watching TV or he walks his dog." She said he said D, his long-term partner, and she is such a lovely girl, is a sweetheart. We have this showbiz side when we're rubbing shoulders at fights with Arnold Schwarzenegger, Leonardo DiCaprio, Gerard Butler, and Bruno Mars, and it's all great. But then we go back to Lucan, or whatever the fuck that is, that town, and we're just a normal family.
I mean, let's be honest. You're not rubbing shoulders with Bruno Mars. He's rubbing knee with
I was going to
his
say, he's very tiny. Very, very tiny. And Schwarzenegger's shoulders are probably above yours.
Yeah.
And from what I hear, Leo, you'll be rubbing on his cock before his shoulders because it'll be so far out in front of him because it's enormous. That's there you go.
Especially if there's a 19-year-old girl around.
Oh, it's definitely, yeah. Or 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever he feels like scooping up for that day.
Yeah.
So August 17th, 2016, Nate Diaz and Conor McGregor, there's a press conference, and they throw bottles and cans at each other and shit. Remember that? I remember that one with shit flying around, and it was so they had to end the press conference, which was the point of it, was to, who cares? It's for publicity. So, he actually, when he was coming out, when Nate Diaz was coming out, McGregor was talking shit to him over the microphone. And then Nate Diaz threw a water bottle at him, and McGregor got, quote, unquote, angry. Yeah. And then he threw 2 cans of Monster Energy at him.
Oh, make sure we put what was in the can.
Got to have that there, which is, I'm sure they were sponsoring this.
Yeah, that's right, brought to you by Monster Energy drink.
He could be throwing Red Bull is all we're going to say. I'm just saying. So you're going to throw a couple bucks our way here.
Four Loko put a lot of money in our pocket for this fight, you guys. All right, Monster it is.
That's fucking funny. And they're saying this is likely to result in some form of punishment for both men. And no, it's not. It's resulting in articles being written about it everywhere, which is exactly what Dana White told them to do.
It's resulting in spikes of sales of Monster Energy drink.
Yeah, and huge Monster Energy drink sales. So August 20th, 2016, Nate Diaz again here. And this fight, and Diaz is now 18-11. He's lost since he last fought him here. So the rematch here is going to be August the 20th, because I guess it was supposed to be July 9th at UFC 200, but UFC announced that Conor McGregor had been pulled from the event after failing to fulfill media obligations related to the fight. Wow. So then it was rescheduled, and there we go. So they come in, and this fight against Nate Diaz, it's UFC 202, Diaz versus McGregor 2, and this is goes all 5 rounds.
Is that right?
Yes, 5 rounds. 5 rounds of 5. So that's exhausting.
Oh, running for your life.
Running and grappling and all that shit. So this is a majority decision. So it's a split decision.
Oh.
And Conor wins it this time.
Hey.
He wins it. Yep, the refs were 48-47, 47-47, and 48-47. That's how they scored it. So that's a close fight, man. Mm-hmm. Wow. So it was awarded Fight of the Night honors, obviously. Yep. And it also broke the previously held record for the highest selling pay-per-view in UFC history with 1,650,000 buys.
Whoa.
At $100 a pop, Jimmy.
That's so much money, James. That's $100 million.
That's $165 million is what that is.
Oh, my God.
Plus the gate.
Oh,
so that
my
means
God.
that he was making in the ballpark of that over $100 million on that one pay-per-view that they gave Conor McGregor $1 million of.
And there's production costs and bliss. This,
yeah. Obviously.
You got to pay Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
All these people to pay.
But the
still,
guy in the ring who's drawing the crowd,
right.
That guy's the first guy.
Yeah.
He's drawing the crowd.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then you pay the cameraman.
Then you pay the yeah, because you have money left over.
Right.
But you pay that guy who's
whatever
drawing
you got.
the crowd.
Yeah.
Nope.
$100 million.
Think about that.
And gate sales.
And the gate and all the merchandise they sold.
The gate pays for this whole thing.
Think
right?
about it. Oh,
it's
yeah, the gate gets everything. Yeah. And then that's all in my pocket.
Unbelievable.
Wow. That is, wow. That's a crime. That's crime in sports, everybody.
That should be, that certainly is a crime.
That is a fucking crime. 20-3 for Conor now. So now he's back on the winning path here. November 12, 2016, he is fighting at UFC 205, Alvarez versus McGregor. He's the main event, obviously, fighting Eddie the Underground King Alvarez, who's 28-4 coming into this fight. So pretty good fighter. They announced it, and apparently Alvarez got knocked down several times from punches in the first round. McGregor was landing all sorts of punches here, but in the second round, he lands a big multiple punch combination, and the ref stops it at 3 minutes and 4 seconds, and Conor wins here by TKO. So there we go. He gets performance of the night again, and they say this is considered one of his best UFC performances ever here. So he's 21-3, and November 13th, 2016, he announces that he's taking some time off for a newborn.
Yeah.
I have a baby coming, so he's going to take a little time off and everything else. He promised a big announcement at UFC 205, but he instead, he didn't really do very much. That was the night he knocked out Eddie Alvarez. And so he said that he said that he faked out fans watching around the world, and initially he appeared that he was making an apology for being a dick in the past.
Oh.
He said that he's there's been rumors kind of around here, and that he was going to take some time off for a newborn. He doesn't know how much time he's going to take off, but he says he is going to get another fight in before the baby's born in May. And he said he really didn't get hurt much. He took very little damage in the fight against Alvarez. Yeah. So he feels like he can make a quick turnaround and fight again here. Okay. So get in there. He is also, it's crazy. He's upset with the UFC's ownership at this point, which I don't fucking blame him there.
Right.
He said, Conor said, no one's come talk to me since the sale. Didn't Dana sell part of the company to,
I don't know,
somebody or some shit like that? Wasn't that part of it?
Anything could have happened. I don't.
Yeah.
I have not paid attention to this shit in so many years, and it's mostly because of how fucking boring the fights were getting, and the quote unquote stars were. I wasn't scared.
No, and it's
You know what I mean?
honestly, I can't watch with just a giant crowd full of wife beaters in the background.
Yeah.
Just, these guys all look like they cannot wait to go home and punch their wife in the face.
And
Every
they
fucking
probably do.
96% of that crowd looks like people that I wouldn't want to have a beer with. You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of white baseball caps.
Yeah, which is very. They're all real like bloodthirsty. It's a real
Yeah.
weird crowd that I don't really care for very much. There,
Not
to
a lot
watch.
of-
The live crowd. I'm not saying everybody
Yeah,
likes it, but the people who actually get off of their ass and go to the fucking thing and want to watch it, it's a
There's
different kind
also
of crowd.
The crowds that I was going to houses to watch these fights, a lot of those guys too.
Yeah, beat their wives in between rounds.
Yeah, it's not necessarily that the crowd there just beat the audience that watches this pizza. A lot of the ones that beat their wives can't afford a ticket to get there, Jay.
No, that's the other thing. Those are very
and
expensive.
I go to their homes.
It's very expensive. Have everybody chip in on it at home.
Yeah.
It's better. shit. So Conor makes sense here. He said, no one's come talk to me since the sale. As a businessman, celebrities have shares in the company. Where's my shares? Where's my equity? They've got to come talk to me now.
Yeah. He wanted an opportunity to buy or just be awarded it for being a part of this motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm helping it grow. You want me to stick around? You want me to keep doing what I'm doing? Let's talk, but I want ownership now. I want the equal share. I want what I deserve and what I've earned.
Smart guy.
Obviously, you're not going to get that from UFC.
No.
So I mean,
you're in the wrong business, friend.
You're not getting anything that you've earned.
No.
Jesus, good God, you have better luck with Don King, for Christ's sake. I would rather go into business with Don King than Dana White. That's a fact. I would 100% trust him more.
At least you know. At least you know you're going to get swindled, and it's going to be fun to see how I get swindled. With Dana, it's going to be very
entertaining. Yeah, Dana, it's going to be entertaining, and he may hit my wife in a public place afterwards, which I don't care for either. So I don't like that.
As we watch the ball drop. Which dropped faster, the ball or your wife, Dana?
Let's see. So I guess McGregor has a promotion that he's talking about another promotion that he might start and all this type of shit. And so, but they want him to, obviously, the fans want to keep Conor McGregor in UFC. Right. So November 26th, 2016, he is stripped of the featherweight championship due to his inactivity in the division because he had moved up weight classes. Right. So it was announced that he vacated it, and then the promoter, they gave it to Jose Aldo, who he beat up very quickly, in like 13 seconds. So that's how that went. January 28th, 2017, that's when he announces his next fight will be a boxing match with Floyd Mayweather.
Yep.
This is a power play with UFC. Now that we know the details, you can see. It's, you motherfuckers aren't paying me. You're making all this money. You're not giving me what I deserve. I'll go out and make my own money.
I'll get it on my own.
Yeah.
And there's also
need you.
He had this all this hype around him that he didn't have to go to the ground. He could, and he could beat you that way. But the boxing that he was doing, they were like, he's the best fighter, the best boxer the UFC has ever known. So that's why he did this, because he wanted to prove that he was a good fighter. But
that's not the same as a boxer.
It's not.
It's not.
Because if boxing doesn't work in the UFC, you take him to the ground and you can still win that way. You can't do that.
The fact that you have to train in multiple disciplines, and this isn't even a knock. You can, you're upright with your hands. You can train with that, but then you also have to train to grapple. You have to train to kick. You have to train to do all these different things. In boxing, this guy, Floyd Mayweather, his dad's a boxer since he was, since he was 5?
A child, yeah.
All he has done is concentrate on how to hit you with his hands and not let you hit him with his hands. You're not going to beat a guy like that.
No.
If you're half-assing and concentrating on multiple disciplines at once. You can't just decide at once, I'll concentrate on my hands now, then I'll beat the best pound for pound fighter in the fucking world like that. Not going to happen.
You can go on TikTok or Instagram now and see a guy you've never heard of spar with a bag and see how they move around the bag, and it's incredibly impressive.
Amazing.
That guy would get his ass kicked by Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
And Floyd is that much better than that man.
That much better.
It's mind-blowing how good they are at just slipping a punch. You can't.
Yeah.
Slipping a punch is so hard to do.
Being a good fucking striker in UFC is about the equivalent of being a decent playground player in basketball and saying you can play in the NBA. Not that that's the playground, but the comparison and skill level of actual just hand fighting between the best UFC hand fighters and the best professional boxers are displayed in this fight. When Conor McGregor couldn't fucking touch him for 8 rounds. Couldn't hit him. Just couldn't hit him.
He's smooth.
He's just too smooth. Because this is all he's been doing. He toyed with them like, you're not a boxer. I can just do whatever I want.
I can do whatever I want today.
Floyd was just having fun. He didn't care. He was making tons of money for doing nothing. It was a horseshit exhibition. So that's what he says. It's going to be that. And this, I don't know if everybody remembers this. This was the biggest fucking thing ever, this fight.
Huge.
People, they were like, I have no interest. I hate both of them, and I have no interest. And as soon as it's over and I'm done watching it, then I'm going to, I was like, I couldn't care less, but I am going
to my day.
I am going to check it out, though.
And I'm going to buy it. I'm going to invest financially in this.
This was a fight where you go in and you go, I just want to see somebody get the shit kicked out of them because I hate both these guys. It's great.
Both these guys are dicks, and they have big mouths, and I just want to watch somebody bleed.
No shit. So He's a huge star in MMA, obviously. He's at this time the biggest star in MMA, there's no doubt. And then obviously Floyd's 49-0 at the time in boxing, so no one can touch him. And they make a huge fucking deal out of this. I mean, they have a press conference. He does a whole
God. The betting was crazy.
Oh my God. Oh, this was the talk of everybody.
Yep.
And everybody knew what was going to happen, but that's the fun thing is that people said, yeah, but what if he got one good shot in on it? What if? It's like
either one, what if?
Yeah, 49 good boxers who are top contenders for championships haven't got a good shot in on him yet, so I don't know why this guy would, but who knows? Floyd's getting older. You never know.
Or what if Floyd gets one good shot and destroys this man's fucking life forever?
Yeah, that's it. Or just peppers him the whole time. What if he what if he was really a dick about it and wanted to get in like 8 punch combinations? Because he could have if he felt like it. You could see it. I mean, he could have done anything he wanted to. Really. So Conor said, quote, "Me and Floyd have gotten together and talked the same way him and Manny Pacquiao figured it out. Once we come to a set number that I'm happy with and that he's happy with, then we go to the customers. Then we go to the promoters, to the buyers, and then we get it done. That's next. We'll figure out the situation and then go to the dotted line, but this is happening."
We're at square one.
Yeah. Well, we've agreed that we should probably fight each other. Nothing else has worked out. I guess they because I remember them going back and forth about percentages of the gate of who should get this and who should get that. I guess Dana White already put a price tag on it. He offered McGregor and Mayweather $25 million each, which Floyd Mayweather is still laughing about. Floyd Mayweather makes like $300 million a fight. That's the real world. And Dana White's like, you should come in here. I'll give you $25 million. And he's like, are you out of your fucking mind? I'm going to make $500,000 from this fight, motherfucker. You're not making it.
That's a cold caller saying, have you thought about selling your house? We'll give you cash.
We'll give you like $8. $25 million is a fucking joke for Floyd Mayweather at this time for a boxing. For this especially, he's like, I'm going to make more money off this than I did off boxing matches, and I made hundreds of millions. Are you fucking kidding? Wow, what a piece of shit you are. Wow, Dana White.
He is a he's a Craigslist lowballer.
Yeah,
like put something on
Facebook
Craigslist. Somebody calls, he goes, "I'll give you $10."
Yeah, like what? I see you got that bike on there for $150. How about like 15? Is that cool?
All I'll
got
is
over
15.
to pick it up. Yeah,
I'll come over and beat your face in for $15. How's that?
Fucking asshole. That's what he is, though. That's the ultimate lowball. 25. So the fight's going to make $1 billion.
Yeah.
You get 50, the fighters, and I'll just keep the rest. Fuck you.
Craigslist should change it to Dana's List.
Dana's List. It really should be Dana's List. Dana, you are a fucking unreal motherfucker. Wow, what a scumbag. So that's crazy. Conor said he wasn't as standoffish, though, but he said that $25 million would be a starting point for negotiations that would end far away from $25 million. He said, quote, "I was happy there was an offer made. Plus, that's $25 million, fucking 25 times what he made in his biggest fight there. So why not?" He said, "We're getting there. We're moving up. First of all, it was like it's going to happen. Now there's an offer on the table. It's still not there yet. But if Manny or Floyd made $500 million, I believe this one, cross sports, never been seen before. This is the first $1 billion fight. People have got to pay for a $1 billion fight."
$1 billion is what he's looking for.
Wow. McGregor said that he doesn't need to involve USC in the promotion of the fight because they don't need them.
This isn't them, right?
Him and Mayweather can promote it fine on their own.
Right.
Otherwise, UFC's the promotion, which is the promotor, which gets people in the building. If you don't need that, you don't need them, period.
None of us are wearing tap-out shit. We don't need you. Right.
That's what I mean. They don't need them. So they said that but he wanted to keep the company involved because he had a good working relationship, and he wanted them to like him, basically. So he said that he understands, though, the more people that come in and try to get involved in the fight, the more complicated it's going to be. He said, quote, I believe I can make this without the UFC, but I think it's smoother if we're all involved. We're all about good business. I've done great business with UFC, with Dana, with everyone. I think it's smoother if everyone gets together to get involved. But then again, everyone has got to know their place. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. There's Mayweather Promotions, there's the UFC, and now there's the newly formed McGregor Promotions.
Yep.
We're all in the mix. Nobody is my boss.
Oh.
Yeah. He knows he's got a life-changing amount of money coming here, so no matter what. So he also, McGregor, had to then try to get a boxing license in Nevada as well because he didn't have a boxing license.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they were talking about. He received a license in California, but an outstanding $150,000 fine from his press conference with the bottle throwing incident with UFC, or not with UFC, but with the commission there with Nate Diaz. That has to be settled before he can be approved for a license in California.
He got fined $150,000 for that melee?
Yeah. By the commission for doing that. So McGregor said after the fine was issued, he had no interest in fighting in Nevada again, but then claims he communicated with the Nevada State Athletic Commission and has come to a resolution that will be put into motion during his trip to Vegas. He said, there's a lot of business to settle in Vegas. They tried to fine me $150,000 for throwing a can. I love the Vegas Commission. We came to an understanding. I'm going to fly there, fix it, and I'm going to get my Las Vegas boxing license. Then we'll see where the fuck Floyd's at.
He's probably going to be in the Bahamas spending his money.
No shit. So afterwards he says, we have it fixed. It's fixed. Everyone came together. Fixed is a great word, by the way, for all of
this.
Don't
say that. Don't say that.
We fixed it. The fight's all fixed. Thanks. Great.
Fuck.
Jesus Christ. It's fixed. We fixed the fight and we fixed it all up. Everyone came together. That's even worse. That's not good. Not good. They realized I brought in $400 million in revenue for one fight. They realize if I'm not there, ain't no one bringing money into that city. Well, that's not really true. No. I think Las Vegas has gone.
There are strippers and hookers, friend. They'll be there.
There's been a couple of bucks flowing through Vegas since it opened when Conor McGregor wasn't even born yet. And when he's not around, the city's not quiet. It's still pretty busy. So
there's something called cards, my friend.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Slot machines.
Yeah, those people are fighting a disease. Are you kidding me? Like they're not addicted to watching Conor McGregor fight. No one's addicted to that.
These are people that go to meetings, Connor.
Yeah, there's a hotline clearly posted in every part of the casino all over the place.
There's a lot of homeless people there because of that fucking place. So don't go
not
taking
about
credit
you, Chief.
for this.
Yeah, calm the fuck down.
Fighting the disease.
They are. He acts like he's the reason.
That's nothing to do with Conor McGregor.
That's like fighting in front of a crack house and going, they just keep showing up, man. It's because I'm a draw. If I wasn't fighting in the front yard of the crack house, these people wouldn't be coming here. It's like, no, they would be. Trust me.
I assure you, they're coming.
They're coming. They're just happy to take a look at you on the way in and the way out. That's all. Oh, man. So he said, we figured it out. We've got to get together and make it work. And so, yeah, McGregor said there's not much that interests him as far as the UFC goes. He said that his abilities are greatly superior to anyone in the UFC, so there's no fight that currently exists that could stir him in a way that the Mayweather fight has, really. He said he can't. A title was created in the 155-pound class in UFC. McGregor said he still considers himself the champs at both 145 and 155, even though he hasn't been fighting. He just said that, he doesn't like the way UFC took away his belt and all that. He's like, I'm still the champ. He says he understands the business perspective of UFC's decision-making, but he said he should have been handled differently. He said, quote, well, you know what? Let's give them it in their own words here on this, because he's kind of a little pissed off at Dana White, and that makes me happy. So, in their own words, quote, all they had to do was ask. If Dana came to me and said, hey, Conor, I know you're preparing to have a baby. I know you're chilling. But if you want to have this fight for the featherweight belt in March, I would have went in and I would have I would have slept Max Holloway or the guy he was fighting or Jose Aldo or whoever they wanted. No problem. All they had to do was ask. Instead, they created an interim belt, gave the unified belt back to a guy I KO'd in 13 seconds. A guy I dominated now has the interim title. I was almost a little embarrassed for the way it was playing out. Is that really how bad it's gone? They need to create all this fake stuff to sell some stuff? It still sold shit. It still sold nothing. I'm still a 2-weight world champion, no doubt about it. At the end of the day, my shadow looms large over all that featherweight division, over all that lightweight division, over the entire UFC. So they can try to fool the fans all they want, but the fans know. They know what's what.
Okay.
Wow, that was a wrestling promo. Yeah. That's what that was.
They know what's what.
They know what's what. So he went on for that one. So anyway, he's going to, I guess there was a main event that was going, and he was talking shit about it and all that kind of thing. The fight with Mayweather, they're talking about different gloves and doing all this type of shit here, and because they were fighting over glove weights,
right? Yeah, because Conor's gloves are smaller and blah blah blah. I want him to wear the same ones I wear because if I wear them too big, I can't throw as fast. You don't want Floyd wearing your little gloves, man.
Oh no, that's worse. That's worse.
Yeah, and that's what he was wanting. He's really
beating grown men with huge. That's the other thing. These boxers are knocking people out with big puffy gloves on that are way different than these little. Wow.
Floyd's like Conor wanted smaller gloves so that he could be faster. It's like,
yeah,
dog, you better pipe down. Don't open your mouth at those words.
Listen,
that's worse than saying the fight's fixed.
Yeah, you're gonna get punched in the face a lot. So just know that's gonna happen.
And the smaller the glove, the more rapid they're coming.
Yeah, exactly. So he said that Mayweather's, they're talking about all of that, and McGregor said that obviously it's been a long time since he's fought, but he's worth the wait. He said, I believe the next time I step into a combat arena, it will be through the ropes with 8-ounce gloves. This is historic. Fighting Khabib, what the fuck his name is, Tony Donkey, Jose, or even Tony Donkey or Jose or even Tyron Woodley for the third belt. It's not this. Sometimes you've got to be patient with situations, and I feel this is one of them.
Yeah.
So he's
I don't
ready.
Think he wants to fight Woodley either. Woodley's a bad motherfucker.
He's like, I don't care about any of this shit. He wants. They've dangled your hundreds of millions of dollars. He's like, I'm not going to step in. Suppose he steps in the ring with one of these fucking bums in UFC. One of these guys, maybe not a bum, maybe a great fighter, but no one in the general public knows who the fuck they are. They beat Conor McGregor. What's he worth now to Floyd Mayweather? Way less than he was before. So he's protecting his fucking money, which makes sense. So August 24th, 2017, he is going to launch a fashion label here with David August. Okay, so that's what he's going to do. He said that he's taking his bold personality into fashion. Yeah. That's right. The brand's going to be called August McGregor because it's David August, Conor McGregor. And he said the menswear label will order modern suits designed to appeal to millennials who want to follow the fighter's confident sartorial style.
Okay.
Wow. That's his first.
Our clothes are going to make a statement about who you are.
That's right. I guess he says that he wants to get into it. He wants to, supply to celebrities and all that sort of thing. He said, I really want to extend my brand beyond the sport that I love and share an important personal part of my life with the fans. What are you, a fucking tailor?
What are we talking about?
You making suits now? What are you talking about?
So ridiculous.
You see him with like a needle in his, sticking out, a couple of pins sticking out there. It's
measuring tape.
No, pull up. Every tailor's a little Italian guy, by the way, to me. So go ahead. He's got a little Italian accent while he's going.
Back of your hand touching a strange man's balls as you measure his inseam.
Yeah. He said, quote, we casually chatted about doing a line together, but we finally got serious over the past several months. I credit David Heil with creating the look that has become a signature of mine. There's no other person I know who understands how fashion can change a person, physically, mentally, emotionally. Physically.
He's getting far too.
Wow.
Clothes.
That is wild. And the Heil guy said, I want someone who buys the complete look to feel as powerful and confident as Conor McGregor does whenever he's wearing one of our suits. Well, I mean, if they have 20 fighting professional wins, then maybe they can feel that confident. But
yeah, go punch Nate Diaz bloody. Until then, you're not going to feel very powerful.
You're not getting shit. The debut collection will be made up of a minimum of 10 looks for spring of 2018. Prices for suits will range from $500 to $1,200, while the complete looks with shirts and accessories will retail starting from $650. So expensive shit. The collection will be available in select department stores and online at augustmcgregor.com. He comes out doing all sorts of shit here, trying to promote. He's trying to stay relevant for this Mayweather fight that's bubbling here. Right. And he doesn't have to do a lot, actually, because he fucking keeps it going. You know, he keeps it going. So Mayweather's going to wear. They get down to this fight. People are so wanting it. They're talking about what boxing trunks Mayweather's going to wear and who's designing them.
What about the fashion?
What's the fashion? What about the trunks? What will they wear? That's
what are you gonna maybe bleed on? Tell us.
Oh my God! So this was the press conference tour. This is when he had the suit with the "fuck you" on it there, which is great there.
And that's the suits we're selling.
That's the suits we're selling here. Yeah, the suit was recreated and offered as a limited edition custom order on the e-commerce site, starting at $6,500.
Oh yeah, I mean super affordable.
Yeah, no problem. Go ahead. I'm gonna order one of those up after the show.
To every plumber you used to work side by side with a $6,500 suit.
You know, we're recording on my birthday. It's my birthday today. I'm gonna treat myself. I think after the show, I'm gonna get on and buy a $6,500 suit. I think that seems reasonable, right?
Does August McGregor still exist?
I'll sell my fucking car. I have no idea. That's crazy, though. That's insane. I've had like 6 cars that cost less than that. I'm not even joking. That's a load of shit. I'm not paying that for a fucking
I got news for you, James. They still exist, so it's time for you to go buy one of their 5 things they offer online.
Oh, sweet. They're one of those stores like we talked about. When you walk by it, you go, who's in there? There's one rack with 5 things on it. How's there 7 employees in there? What the fuck is happening? They're drinking champagne in there. What's going on?
They have sweatpants, a hoodie, and a shirt. That's it.
Oh my God! Not even suits.
That's what I don't see any right on their fucking front page.
Jesus Christ!
Suiting. There you go. You go to their shit, and then they've got 5
Go to our shit.
5 things, James.
5 things of shit for them to have.
Unbelievable. I'm not looking any further. I hate that I gave their website a click.
That is fucking hilarious. Yeah, don't buy any of this crap. So, August 26th, 2017, in his pro boxing, it's an exhibition, so I don't really know, but it's his debut here. It's as an exhibition, so I don't think it counts on Mayweather's record either. He stays 49-0 here. And this fight it's pretty much a fucking joke, obviously. Awesome. It was fun to watch. This was fuck, man. It was a beating. I mean, it's a 12-round schedule. It goes 10 rounds, which that was just Mayweather giving people their money's worth, basically. Right. Yeah. He was like, we'll let him get 10 rounds out of it, I feel like. You know,
but it felt like it was. I liked it most because it finally put those people to rest. That you're not. It's not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
No. It's and this is a guy. Mayweather was pretty much done as a pro. Like he wasn't in his peak.
No,
McGregor's in his peak. Mayweather was like retired from boxing, so that tells you a lot.
It's over for him, and this guy's still got so much left in the tank, and he still can't compare.
It seems fucking crazy. So this fight, goes 10 rounds, and the refs, by the way, at the end of when the fight's over, the refs have it 89-81, 89-82, and one guy had it 87-83.
That's as close as it got.
Not a big Mayweather fan. I feel like that guy probably hated him. So it was at the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas, big deal. And this fight, it's a TKO. The ref finally came in because, dude, he was just peppering him. He was just,
and not just that. But Conor McGregor
doing
was
whatever he wanted. He was just doing whatever he wanted to. Yes.
And Conor didn't even know how to. I mean, he was hitting Floyd in the back of the head. You can't do that. And they warned him, and then I think they took a point away from him too. But it was obvious that he doesn't know what he's doing.
When you saw the two of them throw punches, it was the difference between shooting a bullet and throwing one. It's not the same.
Not the same.
You can take a baseball swing. Like, I can get a bat and take a swing and you go, hey, pretty good swing. But if you put a fucking,
Then you throw a majors pitcher at you.
If you put Aaron Judge next to me, you're going to go, wow, your swing is terrible. Your swing looks like dog shit compared to his because
even
it's
if
not
you've
the
got
same.
a good swing, then try to hit a ball from a major league pitcher and chase that shit in the dirt and see how you look. It's not going to look good.
And that's not even an insult. That's not what they do for a living. If you don't do that for a living, you shouldn't be better at it than the guy who's the best at it in the world. That's just not what you should do.
Yeah.
Sorry. So I get it. I totally get it. So it's not
put me in a pool next to Michael Phelps today and see how well I do.
Jesus Christ. Today, you could freeze me in time and then wait 40 years and he'd still kick my ass, Because he's a professional. He's great at it, and I'm just not. So there you go. November 10th, 2017 now. This is after that. He has a big controversy as he, Jesus Christ, he jumps. Okay, let's just get into this. It was Bellator 187 in Dublin's 3 Arena, and it was to support his teammate Charlie Ward, not the ex-Florida State quarterback, Heisman Trophy winner, Knicks point guard. I don't think. It might be, but I doubt it. And it was Ward beat John Redman, and McGregor jumped over the cage fence. He climbed the cage and jumped in the ring to celebrate with him. He's not a licensed cornerman, so he's not allowed to do that, basically. You're not allowed to be in the ring. So some security approached him and separated him from his friend, from Ward. And I guess they put his hand on somebody put his hand on McGregor's chest to try to move him out of the cage, and then it got to be a big mess here. So McGregor ended up going after the other guy, Goddard, and the referee was still tending to the other guy. So this guy, Conor, shoved somebody else. Security got all over Conor McGregor, who was shouting and yelling and going after the official at this point.
Right.
So at one point, McGregor and a security guard knocked Redman, who was still crouched on the floor because he just lost a fight.
Right.
He's covered in blood. They knocked him off balance and knocked him over. He's had enough, this poor guy.
He's so humiliated.
He ends up being escorted out of the octagon and, taken out. And he shouted, "That was a fucking stoppage," as security officials swarmed around him. They then raced outside, and everybody's going nuts. And it was a huge mess. And I guess McGregor, they said, it had a history with the referee Goddard. That was a big deal. Yeah, a day after the incident, the head of the commission for Bellator 187, he said, while the Mohegan Tribe Department of Athletic Regulation was regulating Bellator 187 in Dublin, the following events took place during the Ward-Redman bout. Mr. Conor McGregor, who was a spectator at the time, disrupted the event by scaling the cage prior to the conclusion of the bout. Mr. McGregor's conduct jeopardized the health and safety of the bout participants by delaying necessary medical attention to the fighters who were injured during the round.
Right.
In addition, Mr. McGregor assaulted referee Mark Goddard and a Bellator staff. The MTDAR has been in consultation with the upper management of USC regarding Mr. McGregor's inappropriate and unacceptable behavior. Wow. The MTDAR has also contacted members of the Association of Boxing Commissioners that have licensed Mr. McGregor in their jurisdiction to inform them of Mr. McGregor's behavior. So, November 30th, 2017, Conor is fined 400 pounds here because he's clock driving at 158 kilometers per hour.
That's like 65, right?
I think it's either 65 or like 270. One of the two.
I don't know which one you multiply.
Which one? Okay. It was in a 100 kilometer zone. So it's more than half the speed limit. So
he's moving.
I guess, well, you know what? Let's see. 150. I'm looking this up because kilometers, meters.
It's got to be 72.
mph.
How about it's 78?
It is, come on, 98 miles an hour.
What the fuck?
Okay, that's fast. He's cruising. 98.176.
He's doing 100.
That's a lot. Okay, you know what? I take that back. He's doing 100. That's too fast. In a 50, basically.
Yeah.
He's doing or in a 75. He's doing 175.
Yeah.
so it would be half more. Okay.
Way too fast.
Way too fast here. He's fined 400 euros for this, though. Okay. It's very, very, very sad here.
That's like $800, isn't it? That's a lot.
That's a lot. Yeah, it's like $600. That's a couple nights in a nice European hotel there. That's a lot. So there was a brief hearing, and he faces the threat of arrest. After that's what the judge told him, after his solicitor attempted to explain the issues in the case. He pleads guilty, apologizes, and says that he's sorry, and they're going to. The judge tells him he may pay the fine in installments if he must or wanted.
You can finance this.
You can finance it. We will put that. He said, I would warn, however, despite the fortune in your life, that you take cognizance of other people on the roads.
Right.
That's
100 miles an hour is too fast, sir.
It's a little bit fast, I would say. So they said they didn't make any comment or anything like that. It was a BMW i8 is what he was.
That's a nice car.
Driving. That's a real nice. Those are those like race car-y looking ones, aren't they?
It's the ones with the wing doors, James.
Yeah, I did one of those. They have those, don't they?
That's the wing doors.
That's pretty dope. Those are like fucking Michael from Love After Lockup.
Yes,
that's what he drives.
Same car. Yeah.
Okay. He shouldn't be driving that.
No,
this guy, he just
Conor McGregor drives that. You don't drive that.
That is wild. I guess he ended up making 140 million euros for the Mayweather fight, by the way. So
that's great.
That's why Dana White can stick his 25 right up his fucking tuchus there, I think.
140 million euros?
Yep. And Mayweather made more.
Oh, my God.
I think I heard Mayweather made 400 million off that fight.
He may have.
I think he did. So that's a shitload.
40 million euros. Holy shit. I want to know what that is to American. That's got to be.
I think it's probably 180, probably
150.
Okay,
yeah.
Well, we've gone. Hey, look at us.
Yeah,
either they're going down or we're going up, but something's working.
Something's crashing.
So we're getting closer. It was a lot for a while there.
Yeah, back then that was probably more.
Jesus Christ! April 6th, 2018, what is known as the bus incident.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fucking asshole.
Wasn't competing in UFC 223, but he showed up, of course, at a pre-fight media event. Mm-hmm. No, he's no business being there. It's at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, there where the Nets play. Right. So, according to this, he's going to end up facing 4 criminal charges after this.
Yeah,
he threw a dolly through the window of a bus carrying UFC fighters.
A dolly that those two-wheel dollies, they're heavy as fuck.
You can carry like 8 boxes on. He fucking chucked that shit. Yeah, or 2 kegs, exactly. He chucked that shit. He's facing 3 misdemeanor counts of assault and 1 felony count of criminal mischief here. So, yeah, he's been charged with that. 3 misdemeanor counts of assault. He's going to be arraigned based on that. What the fuck, man? They said one of his teammates here, training partner Artem Lobov, said he was going to compete in the undercard and said that McGregor might have been in his corner, so that's why he was there, because he might be his corner man. But according to other people in UFC, McGregor just crashed the thing they said it was a retaliation for a dust-up between Lobov and a group led by the event's headliner, Khabib. I'm not going to pronounce that. Right. Khabib not going to work here anymore, according to Office Space.
Yeah.
Nurmagomedov.
Yep.
I think that's his name. Nurmagomedov.
I think they just call him Khabib.
That makes my last name look fucking like a walk in the park right there. That's tough. So there was speculation McGregor was also upset about UFC President Dana White's announcement that McGregor would be stripped of his lightweight title with the winner of Khabib and Max Holloway here set to take the belt.
Speculation. It's very obvious that's what it is.
That's clearly what's happening here. McGregor and his crew were in the parking area where Khabib, they keep putting his last name, and his manager were about to depart on a bus alongside several other UFC fighters. Words were exchanged, followed by McGregor hurling a giant fucking hand truck through one of the bus windows. Someone else also threw an object and cracked the windshield of the bus.
Right.
And this resulted in the cancellation of 3 UFC 223 fights as well.
Really?
Yes. Ray Borg and Michael Chiesa both suffered injuries due to broken glass, shattered glass, and Lobov was pulled due to his involvement in this.
Yep.
So McGregor surrenders to police a few hours later, and there's going to be arraigned and all that kind of shit. So he is officially stripped of the UFC title on April 8th, 2018. 2018, UFC 223. He spends part of the day in jail after he goes and turns himself in. And then they announce that whoever wins the fight is going to be the undisputed lightweight champion. Conor McGregor can suck a dick, basically. Yep. That was that. So he thought that it was due to inactivity, that's what they say. But McGregor is saying, no, that's bullshit, actually. That's... Well, he was saying it's due to you're trying to fuck with me is what it is.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
You're not paying me. You're getting mad that you're not paying me, so now you're going to try to make a fool of me, basically.
It's not my fault I'm inactive. It's your fault because you won't pay me
exactly.
what I want to fight. Right.
You don't pay me what I'm worth here.
Mm-hmm.
So July 26, 2018, Conor McGregor is sentenced for the bus attack here.
Oh, wow.
He agrees to a plea deal. He costs people money, too. That's the thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which saw all the felony counts be dismissed.
Okay.
So per the terms of the deal, McGregor pleads guilty to 1 count of disorderly conduct and will be forced to undergo 5 days of community service, 1 to 3 days of anger management evaluation, and will be required to pay restitution for the damage he inflicted on the bus.
Okay.
Also, orders of protection are served against Conor, including by UFC fighters Ray Borg and Michael Chiesa or whatever his name is. And he will not be permitted near them until July 2020.
Holy shit.
Yes. The plea deal will not affect his travel visa, and he won't receive jail time or have a criminal record because they're not felonies.
Very lucky.
So, yeah, he's lucky as shit here. That's wild. What the fuck are you thinking here? They said, and the Chiesa guy said that the wheels are in motion for him to take legal action against McGregor because he cost him a fight, basically. Yeah. It cost him money. So that's the way it goes. You can't cost people money.
No.
You have a very limited window of time to make money in this world, especially in fighting. Fucking sports in general.
Yeah.
Baseball a little longer, basketball a little shorter, football even shorter, boxing, MMA, fighting even tinier. Minuscule.
And just like anything else, I agree with your rights to do anything you want. Anything. As long as it doesn't affect other people. And this is affecting other people like a motherfucker.
That's absolutely fucking affecting their living, affecting their everything.
Livelihood.
So it was him and his teammate, Sean Cowley, who I guess is one of the guy who probably threw the shit at the windshield, I assume, if that's why he's arrested here. They were on $50,000 and $25,000 bonds. McGregor originally faced a potential 12 criminal charges for this.
Jesus.
There's all sorts of shit. Yeah. Cowley pled guilty to 1 count of disorderly conduct. And now McGregor says he's going to probably return to the UFC. And but Dana White said repeatedly that they're going to basically move on without him, and if he comes on, great, that's fine. Don't need him though. So they're all set up to have a big fight. They want to have Khabib versus McGregor. So they say that'll be a huge selling fight. Conor got arrested for that shit. You know what I'm saying? So. He has not competed, obviously, since November 2016 since he became the first champion to simultaneously hold titles in 2 different divisions. And then he went and, fought there. So he's kicking a lot of people's asses. He's all set to August 3rd, 2018. He's supposed to fight old Khabib, we'll just say, or Khabib, Khabib here. And so we're going to leave it at that for this week, though. We're going to call this there's no way we can fit his entire, because the rest of it is all fucking insanity. It's crime. It's wild. It's arrested. It's fought this guy. Got to go over here, standing atop a hotel like King Kong.
We're going to get a Conor, too.
Ripping gargoyles up. We are getting Conor McGregor Part 2. There's no possible way to squeeze this in unless it was like a 4-hour-long episode, which we can't do right now. It's my birthday. I'm going out to dinner with my family.
Go eat dinner, James. We'll talk about Conor next week.
1 part. There we go. So we got a 2-parter, and we got a cliffhanger. He's going to fight this guy that he had a goddamn melee in the streets with. This is
Khabib
good.
almost took a dolly truck.
Absolutely, and he's going to get arrested a whole fucking shitload. Don't you worry about that. We have tons for you. It's will not be without crime, and plenty of stuff going on there. So Conor McGregor, Part 1. We're very excited. I can't wait for Part 2 to get all the craziness in there. So if you like the show, tell the world about the show.
Yeah.
What app you listening on? Doesn't matter what app you're listening on. What are you on?
Great
Apple
on it.
Podcasts?
Jesus.
Great. Yeah, Audible. Audible's a nice podcast
really
app, actually.
is, yeah.
Listen, that's a nice one, too. Check that out. Or whatever. I'm not plugging for anybody in particular, but lots of them. But Audible is one I like anyway. So check those out. Lots of cool stuff there. And give us 5 stars. You can rate on pretty much all of them. It helps drive us up the charts. It really does. Also, head to shutupandgivememurder.com if you want tickets for live shows, baby, and merchandise, too. Tons of cool stuff, new stuff up all the time. But live shows here, Chicago, August the 12th. That's the next one available with tickets. There's a bunch in between there that are all sold out. But Chicago, August 12th, it'll be our biggest show ever for Small Town Murder. And we're going to do a one-night-only Chicago show. We will not do that show in any other city. It's just going to be Chicago. So.
Terrific.
Get your tickets and see it that night. We can't wait. August the 12th. Also, the only other dates available that aren't sold out later on in the year are Dallas in December. We have a few left in D.C., Atlanta, Charlotte, Philly. Outside of that, sold out. So get in there and get your tickets. Shutupandgivememurder.com right now today. You also want Patreon, and you want it bad. Patreon.com.
Okay.
I'm telling you what you want, and you want Patreon, and you want it bad.
That was a fun sales pitch.
That's right.
You want it bad.
You want it, and you want it bad. What the hell, man? I'm not going to mince words here. I'm not going to bullshit the people.
Right.
I won't bullshit the people. Patreon.com/crimeinsports. And honestly, we try to give you the best value in podcasting. Anybody $5 a month or above, you are going to get new episodes every other week. There's a couple hundred episodes of bonus shit to binge on once you get it. It really is like a whole new thing once you get it, and people are usually happy they do. And this week, what we're going to talk about, and you get access to Crime and Sports and Small Town Murder, of course. What we're going to talk about this week is, for Crime and Sports, players who like to pay for sex. That's fun. Goes across all sports, and just fun guys getting busted with prostitutes. It's very fun. Good stuff. And then for Small Town Murder, something not quite as fun, Casey Anthony will talk about what happened there. And it's amazing that there are people, after she put that documentary out where she goes up there and cries and tells her story, there are people that believe her.
Shocking.
I assure you she's full of shit, because I've studied all the evidence, and she is so full of shit it's not even funny. None of her shit is even close. We'll talk all about it and blow her whole story out of the fucking water. Patreon.com/crimeinsports is where you do that. If you just want to donate on PayPal so you can get your shout out, you can do that as well. We are at crimeinsports@gmail.com is our email address. You can do that for PayPal. Either way, what that'll get you is a shout out. You will certainly get a shout-out. And when do you get that shout-out?
Right now, goddamn.
Is that right fucking now? Jimmie, hit me with a name on the list of the people who would never throw hand carts at us as we drove away on a bus. Jimmie, hit me with them right fucking now.
This week's executive producers are Liz Minton. Thank you, Liz. That was very nice of you to say. Wendy McGath, Justine McNeil, and her cousin Ray Prosser. Happy birthday, Ray.
Happy birthday.
Della and Bree and their Murder Bird tarot card tattoos wanted to say hello.
Awesome. I saw those.
Yeah.
Awesome. Those are dope as shit. I saw those on
They
social
did a
media.
great job.
Wow, that was cool.
Single line. They look great.
look
Other
dope.
producers this week are Rabbi Shmulalovich's hamster Rusty, Peyton Meadows.
Rusty.
Such a cute little guy. Andy Spankter, I'll bet he did. Sebastian, happy birthday.
Hey, happy birthday.
I don't know if the gal was saying it to you or if there's actually a Sebastian in her life saying happy birthday. I don't know. Sebastian, that was it. All right.
It just makes me think of Dope Sick Love.
That's the point of it. Yeah, that was the point of it. Yeah. Douglas Samarick, C. Merrick, maybe? I don't know. Janice Hill, the fallopian tube tickler. Fallopian. All right. Steve Schnell, Harry Knob Gobbler.
Okay.
All right.
Oh,
that's
thank
fun,
you.
too. Also, Taylor, your wife Liz slept with Nellie, and she wanted you to know. But also, she has
good
tickets
time
to Small Town Murder Live in Chicago. So that's the other news.
Good. Don't beat her at our show, please.
Weigh which one of those news is most important to you. Martine Colomino? Carrie Blackburn, Trenton Graham, Amy Krim, John Rogers, Nicole Lazo, Laws, maybe Lazie, MJ McClung, F. Schweizer, Rost Olson, Michael Podolsky. Podolsky. Nope.
Yes. Something Polish.
Kyle Rao, Sydney Ratasewski.
Ratatouille. Sydney Ratatouille. You next to the Polak. All right, here we go. Moving on.
Alexa Tyson, Lauren Silvani. Okay. Lars Krzelka. God damn it. Why are they so hard? Jake Brown. That's easy. Jonathan Mannheim, the steamroller. He didn't say that. I did.
The steamroller. Here he comes.
Natara Joyner.
Like that's his college nickname. The steamroller, buddy. Here he comes.
Timothy. Jeffrey Bokovinsky. Vukovansky.
Buku. Appreciate it, Chief.
Buku. Nicole Erickson, Betty Ann Bernard, Carol Lee, Vicky Gross, Willie Johnson. That's two ways of saying that. Luke Pearson, Voitano, Stephanie Poling, Michael Trujillo, Barbara Blaine, Danielle Truchanowski, QW, Tamara R, Alicia Peterson, Dee Dee Johnson, Rebecca Wright, Marcy Smith, Cassie with no last name, Travis Simpkins, Stratz family, the whole goddamn family. The whole fam-damily. David Miller, King Creeper, 57. Belinda, Colandaris. Oh, boy. Brett Gregory, John with no last name. Brenda Boyd, Mike with no last name. Or is it MKE? I don't know. I may misspell that.
Maybe he's from Milwaukee.
Possible. The whole town of Milwaukee. Hallie Johnson. No, that's Haley Smith. Why did I say Johnson?
Wow.
Travis Stone, Shirley and Connor O'Leary, Mary Lang, Shiloh Bailey, Dalex Rich. What? Is that a name? Sophie Bannister, John, or maybe Jan, or maybe Jan. Satiris, Trober, Troffber, Benjamin. That sounds good. Taisha, 33. Dallas unknown. Chris with no last name. Chris Fletcher, Caddy Wagon, Angelina Hansen, Lahoma Prater, Rebecca Hargreaves, Emily Goodman, Dawn Sanborn Lahone. Lawn?
Nice.
I don't know. Lawn.
You got it.
Jessica
Brucalieri.
Broke it off in my ass. Joshua
Bobby Brancati?
Williams.
Is that what you're talking about?
Jessica Brucalieri?
Nice.
Fucking no way in hell. Okay, Megan Lowry, Barbara Villalobos, Faith Johnston, Jennifer Stenger, Cindy P., Colton Robbins, Maud If You See, Kay Martin. Maybe call If You See K. I don't know what.
I'll keep an eye out.
If You See K. Got it? See? All right. That's a very Britney Spears reference, I think. Micah Barnes, Grilled Panda, Bert, New Delivery Menu, Christy with no last name, Joe Lane, Campbell, Phil Holt. It's two names, Joe Lane, but it's not Jolene. Do you see where the confusion is for me?
Joe
Ryan Christopher, maybe, Kirsten Bury, Jamie West, Brock Bayard. That's probably it. Desiree, Perks, Lucian Hunt, Dustin Williams, Tony with no last name, Michelle E. Bassley. Maybe that's a Y. I don't know if she's trying to do that Spanish-wise. Michelle and Bassley, or is it Michelle Y. Bassley? Yeah. Middle name Yvonne. All right, Ashley Everly, Irely. Yep. Shannon Miles. West Miller, Catherine Reinhardt, John with no last name, Peter Carlson, Stephen Fawcett, Nicole Winkelseth, Cameron Schmidt, Bradley Getchell. Oh, boy. Jim Brown. Probably not that one because he's dead. Katie Anderson, Hillary Patterson, Jordan Ebner, John Gould. Don't marry a woman named Jewel. Ashley Repeach. Jewel Gould.
Like fucking wedding singer. Julia Gould.
Jordan Rembold, Dana Ziegler, Johnny Norris, Meth Detective, Jordan with no last name, Rob with no last name, Morgan Leslie, Jamal Hill, Matt Rosentitis. That's when you're addicted to baseball pitching. Jamie Schnell.
I feel like that sounds like.
Joseph Yalibus, Maritza Irizarry. I'm real sorry. Corey Hodges, Adrienne Clayton, Timothy Barton, Olivia with no last name, Mahalia Smith, Eric with no last name, Richard Young, Rochelle Hoke, Christian Ordoz, oh boy, Caitlin Moore, Sheila Morrison, Sloppy Elephant, Tanya with no last name, LXO Specht, Wayne Zonka, Sarah Gronemeyer. Yeah, yes, different spelling, but close. Yeah, same thing. Elizabeth Burlington, Alex Smith, probably could be, possibly.
Maybe.
Erica,
legs healing up.
Erica Lacey, Ramsey Watkins, Dawn Ryan, Jennifer with no last name, Reagan Bell, Bridger Joslin, Mark Anderson, probably not. He's dead also. And all of our patrons, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody, from the bottom of our hearts. Fuck, you guys
really
are
amazing.
awesome.
Yep.
Shit, we appreciate it. And thank you if you've been a patron and if you just started or if you've been a patron for a while. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Honestly, it means the world, and we just love doing it. We hope that you love the episodes. And new people, if you're on the fence, trust us, we wouldn't steer you wrong.
Yeah.
This shit's proper and it's right. So check it out. You'll love it. Get in there and do that. If you want to follow either of us on social media, follow us both on there. You can easily do that. Go to shutupandgivememurder.com. All the links are right there, and you can follow us and follow whatever you want. And head over there and get your tickets and check your shit out and do everything. And keep joining us over and over and over again, because we're not going anywhere. We will be back next week with Conor McGregor Part 2.
Hey.
Live from the Crime and Sports Studios. We will see you next week.
They've got a disease. Bye.
If you like crime and sports, you can listen early and ad-free now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts. Prime members can listen early and ad-free on Amazon Music. Before you go, tell us about yourself by filling out a short survey at Wondery.com/survey.
Have you ever gotten a message out of the blue? Maybe you ignore them. Or maybe you end up in conversation. Maybe they tell you about an amazing offer. I can really show you how to make some money. And maybe that gets you into a lot of trouble. But this isn't a story about people like you, the people receiving these messages. This is a story about the people behind the messages, on the other end of the line. Thousands of them, working in a microcity built for scammers. From Wondery, the makers of Dr. Death and Kill List, comes Scam Factory, a new series about survival at the expense of others. Follow Scam Factory on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts. You can listen to Scam Factory early and ad-free right now by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app or on Apple Podcasts.